Let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer Release podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's not static, AM radio. It's the Play Alberta Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
On Edmonton Sports Talk, of course, the Nielson Show, presented to you as always by Weiss Johnston, Edmonton's Train Home Comfort Specialists for nearly 50 years. Get 10% off any new Train furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. You can bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfortable now for all seasons with Weiss Johnston and Train. It's hard to stop a train. Visit wjsportstalk.com today for more details. Edmonton Sports Talk as well, presented to you by Play Alberta. More on that coming up later in the show. New codes for the month of October. Really excited for that. And yours truly, Lieutenant Eric, in on the lock shop today, making my triumphant return to that program after about a year and a half hiatus. So it'll be myself, Huss, and Dustin Nielson checking in, who obviously isn't here today. Dave Jamieson on the desk. Welcome back.
Oh,
haven't spoken to you. You were up for an ST.
I was last in. You had no voice. Do you remember that morning? You were right after the
so that gives us so it's been about a month.
Yes.
I guess in that term. So yeah, well, it's good to have you back. A lot of things have happened obviously since then. CFL rule changes. You were up for an ST
Why am I only learning about this now, sort of posthumously?
It's funny that if you would have
followed along at home, played the home game of EST,
we'd have to get
I would have known. I just learned a couple of days ago that I was in the running.
A video. Hello, this is.
Oh, well, I was not asked to submit one. I would have done so.
Mac T won a video. Or won an award, and he did a video.
The Mac T?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he came on and he thanked the participants from last year's award show. So he must have. There was a bit of information, which was added really well to the night.
Yes.
It was a great thing. Coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio as well, Lieutenant Eric Dave Jamieson. It's not just spicy. It's hot one spicy, Popeye style, with the smoking rojo sandwich featuring Los Calientes roe, or the Darren Dab Ghost Wings with a ghost pepper dry rub and a Last Dab ranch dip for a hotter option. And 3 pieces of chicken for just $8 right now. www.popeyeskitchen.ca. YouTube Trev here as well. He'll be keeping you up to date on everything going on in the sporting world today. Want to quickly shout out everyone that showed up at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge last night for the kickoff to Week 5. And what a kickoff it was between the banged up, beaten, bruised,
Mac Jones, baby.
San Francisco 49ers and the LA Rams. That game went to a lot of places I didn't think it would go, ultimately to overtime as well. and a 4th and 1 stop that preserved the win, which was highly entertaining.
Did I not say to you upon arrival this morning at the EST compound, Mac Jones, huge stones. Like that was a statement game. We'll look back.
He was being held back
by the Patriots.
By Belichick in Foxborough, and now he has arrived. No, it was a hell of a contest, but everybody that came out, specifically Mick the Aussie, was nice to see him again.
Always good.
The Godfather Troy winning the squareboard and the jersey last night, which was a fair couple sizes too small for old Godfather. So he'll be popping by later this morning. Christian McCaffrey jersey for him, and everybody else out. It was like carnival atmosphere. A long list of names which I didn't get a chance to write down. But thank you to each and every one of you. I hope you had a good time. You can join me every Monday and Thursday night back at Selly's Loaded Burger Special on Monday. Your next chance as well to qualify into a draw. Trip for 2 to LA. That draw's coming up mid-October, so you want to qualify now. Saints and Rams. That'll be the game that we'll be sending to you.
SoFi Stadium.
At the SoFi.
Did you see the number of 49er fans there last night?
It was lot of red.
Dwarfing.
A lot of red.
Yeah, a lot of red.
Well, the Rams, yeah, you know, I know St. Louis doesn't really get down anymore with them, right? Like
No, they don't. Well, LA's not that kind. I mean, they're into the Dodgers. They're into the Lakers.
Yeah.
They abide the Los Angeles Kings. I mean, sure, they go.
They exist there. Yeah. It's a big city. Yeah, there's a lot of culture there. Yeah, a lot of.
They didn't miss the NFL as much as people like to think. They missed the NFL there.
They don't need.
They don't need the NFL.
They'll take it. Yeah, and speaking of the Dodgers, I mean, we'll obviously get into playoff ball as well as everything. All the championship series were set last night, but Carson as well was the latest qualifier. You met Carson there, Trev, at the tailgate, I think. That fellow, yeah, he was the qualifier last night. Great guy. Yeah, great guy. God love Carson.
Yes.
And sorry to Trevor Savage, resident Rams fan, who missed out on the qualification as well. It's too bad. Abutski was there last night. Great seeing you, man. There's Savage the plumber. They're into the Rams, but Niners fans always come down for the game. So they travel well. That's what they always say.
Yes, they do.
They travel. They don't have far to travel. Most of them probably live there, but opposing fans in other stadiums not necessarily are all traveling en masse. Like it's most of them just live there and they're like, hey, my team's in town.
There are many things I would like to have witnessed in sports, but going to a Raiders-Niners game during the peak violent years apparently was a wild experience. To go to either of those places, like Candlestick or the Oakland Coliseum.
You'd have to come packing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not for the faint of heart.
Not for the faint of heart, indeed. 780-218-9999 if you want to talk about the football game, the baseball. Of course, Oilers preseason. What preseason? We'll have that coming up midway through this hour. Diving into the preseason, obviously, McDavid, the whole bit. We'll be giving your hockey injection later on in the opening hour.
That Kevin Carey story this morning? That nugget that dropped out of his show. Do we have anyone from EST out on the street?
Hold your horses.
Oh, okay.
6:30. We'll really.
All right, we'll get into it.
We will. Yeah. Right. We'll wonder why Monday, October. What does it mean on the numerology? You know, we'll get into all of those.
I have a big day on Monday. We'll get into that later.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. 780-218-9999 is the Paris Jewelers inbox. Paris Jewelers do not pay for 1 year. ParisJewelers.com. Canadian family owned. You can check them out as well in the brick and mortar West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, and St. Albert's Centre. Wedding bands and the whole bit. Go see them today. Don't be a dud. Be a stud with Paris Jewelers. And, of course, the best text of the day will win the Royal Pizza text of the day. Still making a great, best and freshest ingredients you'll find. Top-notch service for over 55 years. Order online today, www.royalpizza.ca, or one of the 14 locations in and around Edmonton, and may I suggest the West End, which Danny, my wife, and I went out last Friday. It was they have the restaurant option, the bar option, separated by a nice wall. It's
pepperoni, green pepper, mushroom.
We got loaded without black olives.
Oh, really? Not an olive
large.
Guy?
Nah, well.
Unnecessary.
I could if I had to.
Sure,
not if you put a gun to my head. So, yeah, get your texts in. We'll be crowning somebody the text of the day champion. You'll be off to Royal Pizza later on. Just to set up the show here shortly with the morning announcements, but we want to let you know as well, the 6 o'clock hour, Dave, brought to you by Ewell. Your power play specialists, Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations, or you can order online anytime, ewell.ca. Ewell, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. iHeartRadio this morning, TuneIn Radio. YouTube is trucking along. The nasty chat is humming. If you are watching on YouTube, pound the thumbs up, give us a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And of course, every morning, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9, the Nielson Show, 95.7 Cruise FM. We had a little traveling Wilburys taking us in, which was a very nice.
I have heard, and
by request.
I don't think, were we on Cruise FM when I was last in here? I don't think we were. I think it was coming the next day. I've had a lot of people tell me how much they appreciate and are enjoying hearing you on the FM.
Well, and you bouncing around, thank you, but you bounce around in the more you're a busy
yes,
man.
I do.
You're commuting
yes,
around.
I do. And it's very cool. Yeah. Yes, very cool to hear you guys.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's nice. It's a nice accompaniment to the online.
Sure.
Static, clear signal, the whole
It's another layer.
It's another layer, indeed.
Yeah.
And we thank the people for Cruise. Hopefully, and I was talking with YouTube, Trev, but the 2 shows that I have hosted on Cruise, we haven't really, it's always been in that third hour that there's, so knock on wood today that the...
Yeah, every time Dusty's been gone, we've had 2... Yeah,
Gremlin Dave, if you will. Like,
yeah.
Ghost in the
we
machine.
haven't done anything bad, but yeah, it's kind of...
It is weird. So, yeah.
Things,
but I'm confident. Well, we got it. It'll be good.
Yeah, we've got it.
We're flying right now.
Trev has not learned yet. We got it.
We got it.
We got it.
We're on it.
Yeah, it's good coming out of the studio. That's what we used to say. It was good leaving here.
Yeah. Morning announcements as well. We'll get into that here in a second, but I'll let you know what we got for you on the menu today. A great Friday show, and they're kind of locked in now with the Hockey Insiders back, of course. You kind of know what you're getting, but Chris Johnston will return his sophomore season. Last year was his first. He was a smash hit with all of you listeners and viewers, so we'll welcome him back at around 7:05. More McDavid, more Oilers, and more around the NHL in general as well. Some big deals are handed out yesterday. Your Play Alberta early bird at 7:20. That's good for the Italian Center, 7:30. And your NFL analyst from the NFL Network, Mike Garafolo, at 7:40. Back it up a bit to the opening hour here. Of course, we'll just go over everything that happened. Preseason, what preseason? Around 6:30, just after the sports update, we'll take a deeper dive tonight into Canucks and Oilers. Finally, we are here. The end of the preseason schedule, Dave. Hey,
I know.
You want
next
more?
Year,
You want a deeper look?
I want a longer preseason, not less. Not less. Oilers need more time to get some things answered.
You want to look at Clattenburg more. Yeah. The crack pack for Wayne's as well. Special news regarding Wayne's sports cards. It's coming up later this hour. And the third and final hour, 8 o'clock, trivia, of course, for Mr. Mike's. You'll also unlock a Club Beat Loop remix from the Vault. 3 questions too many. Sobeys and Safeway liquor drink of the week, as it is branded this week. We'll be trying the we'll taste the spirit of Mexico, Dave. With a sip of the Tequila Vida variety pack. So more on that coming up later in hour 3, and of course the wrap for William Huff to take us home. But a great night in sports, great day in sports. Really, 3 game 3s in Major League Baseball in the Wild Card Series, which was a nice afternoon entertainment, taking you up to the main course of the Thursday Nighter, which lived up to its billing. And
this is a terrible image for the listeners.
Oilers.
I slathered myself with baseball yesterday. Just putting it on like an SPF 50. Just layering it.
You hang those red, white, and blue awnings, aprons on your house. Inside your house.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not for the public to see. For you.
Put up the bunting.
The bunting,
the postseason bunting.
Yes. Well, and you keep it up until...
Until the trophy is lifted.
December 1, yeah. Morning announcements for the Arundel Park short course. Go out and see Trev. A family-friendly, walkable par 58. Perfect course for all skill levels, but really good for short hitters and those of you who are just learning the game. Affordable rates for juniors, seniors, adults. Plus, remember to grab the world-famous smash burger at Shorty's after your round. Jays draw the Yankees.
Hello. Do you find it inconceivable that they have never played in the postseason before? I found that odd. That was a curiosity to me.
So the Jays were birthed when? Again?
Do I have 76? 75, 76,
you were
75?
banging. I was not alive yet.
No.
So really, if you look at the grand scheme of, like when you have a league with 100, you
With a rich
eventually
history. Yes,
play
I know,
everybody.
Eventually you think you'll
76, so 24 years. That's about 50 years, right?
Yeah.
Give or take. How many years have the Blue Jays been truly successful in those? You had your 90s run. You have the
90s run.
recent.
You got the Barry Davis bat flip.
It is weird to believe that it hasn't happened yet. But now that when I dive into it and I look at it kind of closely, it's just that the Yankees are always around, really.
Yes,
modern
the Yankees
day, maybe.
have been more consistently successful. And you know what?
Their paths just haven't really crossed in terms of success. One's either been successful, the other's been
I was
there.
standing there watching, because I don't sit to watch sports. I was standing looking at the Yankees, and
by your
don't
bunting. You were
use
leaning
this
over
term
your
on my
railing with the
butt, yes.
bunting. Yeah.
And I reserve this feeling for very, very few sports teams, but I really dislike them.
And you know what? That's why I wanted them to advance.
Oh, I know.
I think this series,
I get that part, but
nothing against Red Sox fans. I'm
No.
sure there's a throng of you listening this morning. But I had a few concerns if it was Boston that advanced. One being the pitching.
yes,
They'd have to face that Crochet character, twice or whatever. I don't. Yankees pitching I will take at this point over the just what I saw. And prove me wrong, New York, I guess.
Cam Schlittler.
There's the record that they had, which was pretty even against both Boston and New York this season, the Jays. They were successful against both. But I think they really get up. It's the Yankees. And I think this Jays group that have been playing, albeit intra-squad games at 2 o'clock in the afternoon against batting coaches and whatnot, that's keeping you fresh. But I think this at least gets you up a bit more, whereas the Red Sox I'd be kind of worried about in terms of slipping under
You think
and just...
that the energy would be a little flatter.
It might. Look, just my thoughts. I'm not telling you to subscribe to them, but I just feel like this is the series we need. This is the series we want. This is the series that
Man, Aaron Judge
gets on the matinee.
just lights up Toronto.
Don't pitch to him.
You wanted them to just leave the bat on the shoulder.
Drop your game plan around that. I don't know. I think they'll make the Yankees. It's a great rivalry right now. You had Kay, with the Brooms earlier in the season and the Sportsnet, like all that stuff. It was just.
Do you like the way that the overlords of the Blue Jays are marketing the team right now as Canada's team?
Well, you're
Like
not
they're
allowed to
doing-
get a ticket if you're not from this nation.
Yes. But do you like where we're going now? They're trying to bring us all under the big tent. We're Jays Nation.
Well, I guess Manitoba East. Dave will be turning to Mariners Nation. Tridents up.
Yes.
Which also it's all set now, and I love it. We'll have more in the championship series later on during 3 questions
Do it for
too many.
Ichiro.
Well, he's around there.
Yes,
hey?
he is.
He's around.
Yes, he is.
Tigers at Seattle Saturday, first pitch 6:38 Mountain. Very much looking forward to that one as well, as the Jays will open up the ALDS. Pardon me, talking ALDS, not the CS. I'm getting ahead of myself. But we'll make our picks for the championship series later.
We will.
But game 1, Jays and Yankees tomorrow, 2:08 Mountain Time. Can't wait. It'll be high theater. 2:08 tomorrow, 2:08 Sunday. Tuesday from New York. No time yet on that one. And then the 4s and the 5s, if necessary, October 8 and 10. Of course, in the National League, you are firmly on the Brew Crew.
Oh, yeah, without question.
Yeah,
I'm kind of done with the Cubs and Fly the W and all of
see,
that.
Will's a big Cubs fan.
Yeah,
it's funny that the two of you are kind of, this is the
doesn't
Jameson
surprise me
Fraser
at all.
Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's a
and
big
Mark
Chicago.
Spector.
He's a big Chicago guy.
Yeah.
That also gets
Speck and
going
Willie.
tomorrow.
Speck and Willie. It sounds
Yeah.
like a morning show.
And of course, the Dodgers taking on the Phillies, making quick work there. of the
Johnny
Reds.
will pitch.
Yes, game 1. Making his
Lots
postseason
of
debut on
rest.
the mound, yeah. Also, we should not forget talking football, the CFL Week 18, kicking off tonight from Ottawa, the 4-10 Red Blacks, the 10-4 Saskatchewan Roughriders. I haven't talked to you since I wrapped up the Dunya, winning for the first time in Birmingham franchise history, formerly of Memphis Mad Dogs, but in the 10-year anniversary of the league.
Yes.
Very special. They're still partying down Alabama way.
Jack
actually.
Pardee. Is Jack Pardee the coach? Coach Pardee.
You guess. Sure.
Yeah. Coach Pardee.
You get we're having a party.
He gets the trophy first, and then he hands it to Dunnigan, right?
Slack.
Or Eddie Davis.
Reggie.
Right. Reggie will take it from here.
He won't lift it. He'll just pass it.
I'm
fumble it.
Yeah. Shante Peoples.
Riders Red Blacks tonight. Of course, Dustin Nielson will be away. We are still not too certain on which call he has. It is out east. I believe.
You guys not know where
he did travel out east.
I don't think he mentioned
it. But he didn't say. Usually he does. He didn't
Somebody
say.
will educate us, I'm sure. Tommy's got the schedule. He's got the whole grid of...
I'll text Tommy.
I would have thought you would have had one of those pin boards. Where in the world is Dustin this week?
Oh, and connected with string all season long.
Right.
Yeah, I don't recall anything this week.
I mean, I don't know if it's Ottawa tonight. Could be Hamilton, Toronto tomorrow at 1, and then another big game in the West. The Stamps visiting the Lions tomorrow at 5. Of course, the Elks on a bye. They're getting set for a mammoth matchup next week when they welcome the Blue Bombers into town. That's, again, this is playoffs right now for the Elks. It was last week. It is now. You win or you go home, and that's extra playoff ball, I guess, in this market.
It gives us one more week to mourn the loss of all the Canadiana in the CFL, right?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Come on now.
I want your hot takes on this because you're a
you're
a CFL historian.
I dispense takes with Reed
Yeah,
Wilkins
but that's the afternoon crowd. You got to give it to the AM nasty.
And yes, I'm sure we'll get into it.
The AM nasty wants to hear your take.
They're the Hudson's Bay of sports.
4 down
CFL.
ball on the way. Hey?
Oh, it's coming.
Oh.
It's right around the corner. You can't see it, but it's peeking its eyes around.
It's lurking.
Yes.
Its fingertips around wraps around like you're bunting on your railing. And of course, the Thursday nighter. What a game that was. High theater there. The 49ers barely being able to field a team by the end of it. But ultimately coming out with the dub.
I didn't see the 29th angle of what happened on the goal line. Was that a strip or was that a fumble? I guess it doesn't matter. It's not now, but
it was a good, like it wasn't a true strip. It was more of a hit, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If my memory serves me right,
okay.
I know.
That was a hell of a play.
Savage the Plumber is having nightmares about that all night long. He's probably not being able to get that out of his mind. But 26-23 Niners over the Rams in overtime. The Niners now perched atop the NFC West, 4-1. Your Mac Jones, 40, and even he was banged up near the end. Eh?
A presumptive Super Bowl favorite, the 49ers this year. I mean, listen, if they can band-aid it together.
Yeah. Well, they completed some passes in the second half, which is more than can be said for the 4-0 Eagles.
Game manager, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. We'll have more on Week 5 in the NFL with Mike Garafolo, 7:40. And, of course, way more hockey talk as well coming up next. And at 7 with Chris Johnston, who returns to the show.
What's happening Monday?
For your hockey and God, you have to stop now.
What's happening Monday?
Well, you're going for that,
Your call's next.
We'll get to a sports update here. It is Dance Party Friday. I'll be trying to play some... I'm actually going to take a deep dive into my goth synth pop catalog this morning. We'll play some...
And that is the thing. For those who don't know, Lieutenant Eric, that's actually a thing.
Would you like a little Static Ghost today?
Why wouldn't I?
Maybe a little Contravoid? Or some Zex?
I'd like that. Nicky Zex.
XEX. It's a delightful play.
Yeah.
It's 780-218-9999. Get your texts in. We'll have a sports update right now with YouTube Trev, and we are going to Mexico. As Twitter Mary accurately pointed out last night at Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge, Central Casino, Fort Road for Week 5 in the NFL, we are 100 today, this October 3, we are 142 days away from our Mexico trip. Chelsea, Expedia Cruises, she's taking us. If you want in on this trip, probably still fit you in. Listen up, because Trev's got more updates here. Expedia Cruises, crystal clear waters, exotic destinations, whatever you're dreaming of, you can contact Chelsea, Expedia Cruises, Northeast Edmonton, 780-970-4834. That's 780-970-4834. Sports update. We'll be back talking Oilers. This is the Nielson Show, presented by Weiss Johnston on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta.
League Baseball, the New York Yankees punched their ticket to the ALDS with a 4-0 win over the Boston Red Sox. New York now advances to face the Toronto Blue Jays in the ALDS on Saturday. This is the first time these two will play in the postseason. First pitch goes at 2:08. Elsewhere in the majors from last night, the Cubs defeated the Padres 3-1. They'll now take on the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Detroit Tigers doubled up on the Guardians 6-3. Detroit will now face Cal Raleigh and the Mariners, both series starting on Saturday. It was a nail-biter that kicked off Week 5 in the NFL last night as the San Francisco 49ers got the win over the Rams 26-23 in overtime. Mac Jones threw for 342 yards, good enough for 2 touchdowns, which sees them improve to 4-1 on the season, while the Rams fall to 3-2. Week 5 action continues on Sunday, and CFL Week 18 kicks off tonight, which sees the 10-4 Rough Riders visit Ottawa to take on the 4-10 Red Blacks. Kickoff for this one goes at 5:30, and just 2 other games in the CFL this weekend. The Ticats will be in Toronto to face the Argos, and Calgary heads to BC to take on the Lions. As for the Elks, they'll have a bye this week and won't be back in action until next Saturday when they welcome in the Blue Bombers. It's game day for the Edmonton Oilers as they cap off their preseason schedule later tonight when they face the Vancouver Canucks. Puck drop for this one is at 8, and regular season play for the Oil begins next Wednesday against Calgary. And elsewhere in hockey, the 3-1 Oil Kings are in Moose Jaw to take on the Warriors. This one gets underway at 7 later tonight. Whether you're dreaming of crystal clear waters or exotic destinations, contact Chelsea LaBelle at Expedia Cruises in Northeast Edmonton to start planning your next cruise or vacation destination. Call 780-970-4834. Plenty of Oilers talk when we return. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
All right, a little static ghost here in the opening hour of the Nielson Show, 6:35. You're tuned into iHeart, TuneIn Radio, The Source, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, YouTube, or 95.7 Cruise FM in Edmonton. Dave Jamieson along for the ride on this Friday, and for Dustin Nielsen, who will have the calls somewhere in this country for week 15 or 18 or whatever it is.
It's only
in the
9 teams. It can't be hard to find
18,
them.
yeah, no, we'll
find them.
and 2 on a bye as well. So it's kind of, yeah, it's a 1 in 3 chance. Lieutenant Eric, and you heard YouTube Trev, they're keeping you up to date throughout the morning on the sports update. We'll get into off-season, preseason, what preseason here in a second. The opening hour of the Nielsen Show is brought to you by Ewell, your power play specialist, your partner in power, right? You want to sing it? No, you want to?
Do they have a theme song?
Oh yeah,
They have a great one.
Yeah,
I can't.
your partner in power.
I love a good jingle.
Yeah. And there's a music video accompaniment where they turn around. It's people doing electrical mishaps, and then they're like, no. And then they fix
please.
it, and then
Leave it to the professionals.
Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project. 3 Edmonton area locations. You can order online anytime at ewell.ca. Ewell, your Edmonton-based partner in power. and source for all things electrical. Dave and myself coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, where it's getting hot in here because we're going to talk preseason ending, right, Dave? Mm-hmm. Right.
What have we learned? Isn't that what we always end a preseason with? Well, Oiler fans, what have we learned?
Well, I guess we'll go around and ask.
Around the table, do you want to start with Mr. Preseason?
Preseason brought to you by GCL Diesel, providers for the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton, Northern Alberta area for over 50 years. GCL Diesel. And you can play too if you're in the nasty chat, or you want to text 780-218-9999. We did learn something as well with the Jays, as we're a bunch of idiots here. It's the wild card. How could the Yankees and Jays meet before the wild card, right? So that's kind of your
fair.
So that explains kind of why it was not possible.
Okay.
One division champion. Yeah, it's just.
Still, when you see that line,
what did we learn on the show today? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, wow, I would have thought, yes.
Yeah, just in your mind, you think it's something. So, yes, what did we... Preseason ending tonight.
Yeah.
Oilers, Canucks, Vancouver. Stuart Skinner gets the start, thank God, because Kelvin Pickard was just...
And Connor Ingram not ready yet to take the net.
I think it was a tidy piece of work from Stan Bowman, going out and trading instead of acquiring off the waivers, given the money and given the opportunity to send him down.
Goaltender.
It's fine. There's nothing but upside if there is any there. So I don't. But I'm also not in the camp where the countdown is on until he takes Stuart Skinner's job. Let's just come on.
It's fascinating for me because I lurk on the fringes now, right? In my role with EST and wherever else. And so when I saw the story about Connor Ingram and that they, had acquired him, you immediately sort of go, okay, 1, 2, 3, let the speculation begin. Let the, sort of tsunami of Skinner discontent wash over us now and create the scenario where Connor Ingram is going to somehow be this huge upgrade. And my expectations for him are tremendously low as somebody is trying to rebuild seemingly their personal life and their professional career.
Yes, he was in some dark places.
In the toughest position to play in sports.
In one of the tougher markets in this league to play that position.
Let's go real slow, people.
So when you break it down like that, Dave, I'm going to take it slower than I was. But
long range option for me.
We will not sit on this position because there's another thing that was not going to be a distraction this season, which has turned out to be actually a welcome for me distraction from talking about the preseason, and that's been Connor McDavid.
Right.
And everybody's had their theories and their thoughts, which has been, I like doing a sports show, mornings especially, with a little bit of
tongue-in-cheek,
fun and frivolous nature. And,
yes,
and I think a lot of people's theories have kind of gone to different places. YouTube Trev had a dream. It came to him in a dream. It was a premonition of sorts. Fill him in on the dream you had. It had to do with the PA.
The Players Association?
Well, it was, so my theory was, it had I don't know, the more and more, this was 2 weeks ago. I still think about it, but I don't think I think I was just out to lunch. But yeah, I had a dream.
No, you were high.
No.
You were high.
But this is one of the...
edible.
People have said this too. To paraphrase his dream, when you have the best player in your league, not holding out, but just in this, it gets people talking about your league. I mean, that's the NHL always.
Oh, this is good for business.
Well, the NHL normally buries the league. They have a. Well, we don't want to make it too interesting for people who may be, as you say, nibbling around the edges of the sport.
You're trying to win over Ben McDonald.
Yes.
And you're trying to those kids down south.
Yeah.
That haven't quite
come on,
warmed
ESPN.
Up to the NHL.
Get in the truck.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, Bettman was in his dream.
Yeah. So yeah, Bettman essentially,
what kind of dreams are you having?
During the Ohtani Jet, remember he was becoming a free agent, and everyone was thinking he was going to be a Blue Jay. It was all the buzz, right? Yeah. You had basketball, football, hockey fans. Everyone was talking about this.
Show up for Shohei.
Yes. And so my dream essentially was Gary contacted Connor and was like, hey, do you have every intention to sign in Edmonton? He's like, yeah, I'll probably get it done pretty soon here.
Okay.
He's like, okay, well, you know what? Let's ride this thing out. Let's just create a buzz for the sake of creating a buzz. Let's see what we can do. Let's try and get every market talking about this. And Toronto, in LA, just a PR stunt, a marketing ploy, if you will. And and so I think that Connor he's like, oh, okay, you know what? Sure, let's do it. Well, what's in it for me? Maybe, so that's my theory.
And not
it's all just
well, but and you're not like, I think we can all agree that's probably not the main thing. However, it's part of it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of drama in your sport. Obviously, Oilers fans would like to be in some other market, but
do you think, and with much respect to you and your therapist and dream that you shared on the couch.
Thank you.
Do you think that the NHL has it within itself that they would actually conjure up anything remotely like that?
Well, that's the thing. I don't trust them to hatch a scheme that...
It's not like Dana White is running the NHL.
Yeah, this
but
is
I like your image. I mean, I'm seeing you, Trev, one of those weighted blankets twitching and seeing these dreams of like Bob Goodenow coming at him, and a Players Association dream. My God.
It was a psilocybin-induced...
Yes.
In a safe setting. He went to one of those clinics.
Safe.
Yeah, and they kind of give you a
group setting.
Yeah. No, but you're right. The Vince McMahon type of promotional buzz, I don't trust them to do it. However, again, you were alluding to it earlier.
Sure.
Monday morning. There's a special room.
There was an event.
There's a room
that has been
downtown
moved to Tuesday.
Yes.
Is this the Hall of Fame room? Do I have that correct?
I think that's what it's called. So
I'm guessing it's kind of an Oiler alumni thing that was supposed to go Monday.
The Wallman deal will be announced. Like, wrong answers only. What's going on Monday in the Hall of Fame room?
Wrong answer.
That's where you're getting the text of the day, 780-218-9999, because, look, Monday will come. We will be here. We will talk about it, whatever it is. But until then...
Someone's come out of training camp and they want to change their jersey number. They give it the old, I've thought about it. And, okay.
Monday, if you don't know and you're not keeping track of the dates, is October 6th.
What's on 6? Numerologist, please.
Well, no, but this leads into the October 7 date of the no deferred compensation kicks in October 7th. So that was a date that was identified some time ago as perhaps being a marker of when, before that October 7th date, something could get done. And that's why next week, Monday, leading into the home opener, season opener on Wednesday.
Significant financial ramifications, correct?
Exactly. That's kind of it. And we'll go over this more. We'll get Chris Johnston to dumb it down for us idiots and kind of break it down into, what do they call it, layman's terms?
Yes.
Yeah. So, October 7th, and no deferred compensation. The 6th is Monday.
But as you say this about breaking it down, dumbing it down for us.
Yes.
You also understand that you're going to have to dig deeper into analytics on this show.
You are just...
Come on now.
You are... God, you're spicy today, hey? You don't need any tequila at 8:30.
No.
I think you've had enough.
I had enough.
Let me sniff that water bottle.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will get into analytics, I guess.
Sure,
maybe.
we will.
You know what? I should do an analytics program on this station. Maybe like a half hour, if I could get a window. Like in between the lock shop and two guys and a goalie. I could kind of carve out the Business of Sport with Dan Barr.
Sure, I do.
I could do that.
Yes.
This is the analytics of sport with Eric, and then I'd come in and say, "Hey, today for your analytic."
I am not an analytics-driven, fan of sports. I watch. I can, try and.
It doesn't drive me, but I
have a great deal of respect for what it is doing to and an interest, I guess, just sort of a passing interest in, oh wow, that's a different way to look at things or track data or whatever it is. But I don't know analytics driven radio shows, right? Because you've been criticized, or some people think
every day
you should do more of that.
Yeah, well, and
in the conversation.
Some people like it, some people don't. Some people, I think, in most cases in society, are in that mushy middle where they kind of, again, it doesn't drive me, but I find it interesting. I certainly respect it. I don't think it's the be all end all in a sport where you're playing with blood, black shoes with butter knives on the bottom chasing around a piece of rubber on a sheet of ice. I think there is a lot of randomness in play. However,
hockey's been described, I think, as the most random of the sports, the
Yes.
least predictable, and just because of the nature of what it is.
and that's why we love it, I think.
Of course.
But the numbers and the analytics are there to lasso it, right? Because we need control. We can't have things out. I understand that you look at points, you look at games played, you look at goals scored, all that. That's basic stat.
Yeah.
I don't mind taking it a few layers deeper if that's what you want to do. I'm just going to go on record here. I don't mind any of that.
Do you remember when plus minus
Not a real
was
stat.
nothing?
Not
No,
a
I
real
know.
stat, Dave.
I know that.
Still isn't. No, it's still nothing. It's all about what you expect you could do, and that's
Yes.
identifying talent before it kind of hits, I guess, is the goal there. No, I just want to go on record. I know the other day, Tommy and Dusty, were you in the room for this? Trev? No, you weren't here for this whole...
No, he was having a dream about
another psilocybin-induced...
psilocybin dream about a new
Just a bit.
collective bargaining agreement.
Deferred payments. He saw the Hall of Fame room open before anybody else had their meetings canceled or events canceled. No, but I just want to say, like, I don't mind analytics. I have an open mind, as you'll tell by the eclectic collection of music we'll be playing
Yes.
throughout the program this morning.
I can attest.
But
I'll vouch.
again, I don't think that I think there are people out there that want to take a game that, again, is very random, and that's what makes it fun, and try to find out all the answers, to which sometimes, like life, there aren't really any. Some analytics can drive you in a direction, and some
Absolutely.
analysts can foretell the future of how a player might be or a team might be. I totally understand that. They're not always 100% right, but most of the time, I think they get you where you want to go. But I just don't want it to turn into a thing where I'm watching a game. I'll have it on in the background in my house on a small plasma screen in the corner, and I'm charting it on a... Like, we can't get to that point. We've already taken fighting out, which I know, violence and injuries and all that.
And I'm a
But
pro.
let's not kind of take the sport and morph it into something that now we're getting, we put on our lab coats and we get, it's serious. It's very serious. Oh, it's serious. It's numbers and
if I'm hearing you correctly, you feel that conversation, or at least, that you fear that if you were to go more deeply into that stuff, you're going to strip it. The conversation of all just sort of randomness and hot takes and
stubby beer bottles, cigarette smoking type of Millberry chasing somebody in the crowd with a skate,
with a shoe,
shoe, or whatever. I mean, so whatever. Do your analytics. I don't care. Hell, I'll even take a gander, but it can't overtake and consume the sport entirely. Just my opinion. But quickly, boys, preseason. Trev, I'll start with you. Oilers Canucks tonight. Skinner in goal. What do you need to see tonight, if anything? Or maybe you've seen it all already. You're done with it. Do you want more preseason after tonight? Where you're
I want more preseason?
Screw Monday. You want to go to Wednesday?
Did your dream have a longer preseason, a new dress code policy for players?
No, it did not have that.
Yes.
Sure, that will come though.
Yes.
No, I mean, let's. We were talking before the show. I can't wait for next year for preseason games. That should be a thing. I even think that's too much. Like, give me 3, and that is plenty. I don't even know if I'll be watching tonight's game. That's gonna tell you everything you need to know. Like,
I'm questioning your commitment.
well, I mean, it's a Friday night.
in the room.
It's a Friday night, boys.
Okay,
But,
Red Blacks Riders is more your.
Yeah, like, I don't know. There's nothing like I don't know the lineup for tonight's game. I will say a few players that I have liked. Regula, however you call it.
He's
call
had
him.
I
I think he looks awesome, man.
Yes.
There's one spot that's, Ty Emberson, he's got it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Regula takes it somewhere down the line. He's a pretty big body. He skates well. Very noticeable. I like him a lot, man. I really do. So that's what I've learned. I was pleasantly surprised by how good he gets around the ice. As far as other forwards, I mean, other players, David Tomaszek, thought he's looked okay.
Tommy.
Yeah, but I mean, I like I said, we've been talking about it. I don't put too much stock into this. Because what players are going to do against this talent is completely different from when game 1 of the NHL season
But it is a home game for the Canucks. They'll probably dress a little more veteran savvy.
I think so. I mean, they just played pretty well their whole roster the other night. 8-1 win over the Flames.
Yeah.
Quinn Hughes looked unreal. So did Besser. So it will be. Yeah, I'd like to imagine that McDavid and Draisaitl should be in the lineup. It'll be pretty close to your opening day lineup for the Oilers, or for both teams for that matter. But I mean, it's still preseason. They're not going to be giving it their all.
Preseason, right?
For me, it's Ike Howard, Savoy. Their level of comfort in terms of the
Get the
NHL
reps
game.
in.
Yeah, that's it for me. The rest, start. Let's go.
780-218-9999 Paris Jewelers inbox. This might be the route to get you to Royal Pizza in that Royal Pizza text of the day. Wrong answers only for the Oilers Hall of Fame room on Monday. Chris Dixon says Bowman's going to walk in and announce Knobloch's extension to a collective groan.
Well, that
Just
I guess we got to do this.
on Wednesday or Monday in the Hall of Fame room, Barry the Cheater says that Teef announces he'll finally pay LTE that chicken money from the bet that he deserves.
Yeah, he needs to get on that.
That would, this
Long overdue.
Oilers are planning to join the teachers' strike. That comes in from Luke, as he wants to get political here. Jordan says Hall of Fame room announcement will be Bob Stauffer, I assume, announcing the Mediterranean chicken pizza by Royal Pizza will be offered at Rogers Place this season. Somebody also had a good one on raising concession prices. That'll be the announcement there.
Wouldn't that be great?
They take down a blanket, and it's got the full. You can now enjoy a crisp, cold
with those
Canadian
magnetic numbers that you plug up.
Oh,
there.
yeah, sure. Josh Brown being recalled from Bakersfield, scalding gourd. So a lot of good ones
Can we
in here.
come back to the Knobloch extension?
Oh, if you want to go there, sure. We still have a little time in preseason.
Well,
What
sure.
preseason?
I saw the collective groan, and of course Trev is like, "Oh God, is there some reservation about extending?"
Oh no, I love him.
Yeah, just
You
I think it'd be great.
yeah,
You
but just-
should.
Yeah, he's awesome.
it would be a well, and this might Andrew the accountant. Wrong answers only. It's going to be a Connor McDavid signing. So he's kind of taken this
I see what
exercise
you
and
did there.
turned it on
flipped
its
it
head.
over.
I like
good.
it. I kind of like it.
That's good.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
780-218-9999. Wrong answers only. Monday might be the day. Oilers Hall of Fame room is. They had an event. That event. Do we know what was bumped? Like,
I'm assuming it's alumni.
okay, yeah, but like a
That it would. I don't
Just
know
a
what
meeting?
they.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? So they're announcing
monthly.
some initiative, whatever, and that it is now going to the Tuesday, which of course has created unwarranted speculation, or maybe it's warranted.
We'll wait. What a weekend it'll be.
What say you?
Monday. What say you indeed? Let's get into the crack pack here quickly for Wayne's
Yes.
Sports Cards. And a different crack pack segment this Friday because Wayne's, they're not waiting till Monday. They've moved, and they are opening, I do believe, today. Sports cards, Funko Pops, Lego, comic books, and of course, Magic cards, Wayne's Sports Cards, moving or have moved right next to the Italian Center. North of West Edmonton Mall. So you know the Italian Center shop, West
Sure do.
End there. You look at it, you're looking at it from you park and you're looking at the front. They're just to the right. I think it was a former liquor store. That was the kind of space that they have taken. They have a loading dock now, big, beautiful kind of window. It's right next to, joined up with the Italian Center. So you go there, you can go to the outdoor kind of patio cafe. I know it's a little more chillier now, but you can fast forward to the summer months here.
Sure.
You can go out there, enjoy a pie, an espresso, if you will, and crack a few packs. Wayne's will be right there, right next to each other. I know they were talking maybe a future collaboration that you could do.
What a
with-
wonderful image you've created there. You're having an espresso and then you're cracking
right
packs.
Because they have those nice little tables. It's a great area, and now having Wayne's with that the 2 feet traffic meeting, like the people going into Wayne's.
Imagine you and I, like in Venice, doing that.
Yeah, with the striped shirt and the hat.
Right.
Yeah. All we're missing is one of those little rivers that we could row up on.
Gondola.
Yes.
Bunting.
Bunting.
Hey, Eric, let's go out in our gondola. We'll go get an espresso, and then we'll get some soccer cards.
They announced their move about the same time that we moved, which was not planned, but it was a delicious type of,
Sure.
fate thing there.
Symmetry.
And if you've ever been into Wayne's old location, you will know the amount of stock that they have to move, which is
considerable.
I would be rather annoyed with taking, inventory alone inventory night at Wayne's is probably, Wayne will probably order them a pizza or two and they go, as you do with inventory night. But moving all this stuff out is probably quite a headache. But the staff were working tirelessly over the past month, really getting this thing done and underway. So go pop in, see them at their new location. Once again, next to the Italian Center, Northwest West Edmonton Mall. You know the little strip mall in there. It's got the BPs, Westgate, the Firehouse, et cetera, et cetera. But they're out of the back into the front. It's a great location. Go see them. Tell them EST sent you. Say hi to Wayne and the crew because they've been moving for you, and that was a lot of work. I know I went in there every Thursday and kind of I would tease them. I said, aren't you supposed to be moving soon? Like I'd kind of get them going there.
And would you do it with that?
I'd look around. I'm like, you still got a lot of stuff here to take out.
They're like, thanks, Eric. Yes, we're aware of that.
Yeah. There is a number, a 403 number texting the Paris Jewelers inbox. Do you see that? Dreger reporting that the Oilers and Knobloch have agreed on a multi-year extension. So why wait till Monday?
Do it now. Do it and see.
Do it now, yeah. And let's just see here. Yeah, Darren Dreger tweeting out 4 minutes ago, hearing the Oilers and head coach Chris Knobloch have agreed on a multi-year extension. Look, I'm not too surprised.
Level of surprise, 0.
Not too surprised. Good. But we know Chris Knobloch is a McDavid guy.
Yes.
And if he's coming back,
you're tying up all the loose ends.
I think it bodes well.
Yes.
Look, McDavid is coming back. The term is questionable. What will the money look like? We'll have more on that coming up here with our hockey insider, TSN and the Athletics. Chris Johnston will join us just after 7 o'clock. We'll also have Dustin Nielsen's Play Alberta Early Bird. It hit yesterday for the Thursday Nighter. Puka Nakua touchdown, over 6.5 receptions, I do believe was the play. So congratulations if you hopped on with that. That's good for the Italian Center shop and Mike Garafolo, Week 5 in the NFL. We'll touch them all with him coming up later on in hour 2. Dave Jamieson in for Dustin Nielsen this morning. Dusty's got the call somewhere out east, I would assume, for Week 18 in the CFL, which kicks off tonight. Red Blacks and Rough Riders from Ottawa, 10-4, V4-10. Of course, the Elks on a bye this week. As they're coming off that win against the Riders last Saturday, they are back home to host the Bombers in a crucial matchup next Saturday at 5 o'clock. More baseball, more football, and of course, more hockey to come. Hour 1 of the Nielsen Show as well was brought to you by Ewell, your power play specialists. Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations. You can order online anytime at ewell.ca. Ewell, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. Hour 1 as well, coming to you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Keep those texts flying in, 780-218-9999. Monday morning, Oilers Hall of Fame room. Wrong answers only for what might be going on in there, and it could get you the Royal Pizza text of the day. iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio app, The Source, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. If you are watching on YouTube, pound that thumbs up, give us a like as we drive to hit 100 here on the show. 18 away. We can do that before CJ comes up here. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And, of course, if you are listening on the mighty 95.7 Cruise FM, we'll take a short break here, sports update with YouTube Trev. And on the way, CJ to go around the hockey world. Nielsen Show presented by Weiss Johnson, EST, brought to you by Play Alberta.
In Major League Baseball last night, the New York Yankees punched their ticket to the ALDS with a 4-0 win over the Boston Red Sox. That sets up a showdown with the Toronto Blue Jays on Saturday, the first ever postseason meeting between the two clubs. First pitch is at 2:08. Elsewhere, the Cubs knocked off the Padres 3-1 to earn a matchup with the Milwaukee Brewers, while the Detroit Tigers doubled up on the Guardians 6-3. Detroit now advances to face Cal Raleigh and the Mariners, with both of those series beginning on Saturday. In the NFL, Week 5 kicked off with a thriller. The San Francisco 49ers edged the Rams 26-23 in overtime. Mac Jones threw for 342 yards and 2 touchdowns, moving San Francisco to 4-1 on the season, while the Rams fall to 3-2. Week 5 action rolls on Sunday. To the CFL, Week 18 gets underway tonight as the 10-4 Rough Riders visit the 4-10 Ottawa Red Blacks. Kickoff for this one is at 5:30. With Dustin Nielson on the call and just 2 other games on the slate this weekend, Hamilton travels to Toronto to battle the Argos while Calgary heads west to face the BC Lions. As for the Elks, they are on a bye and return next Saturday when they welcome the Blue Bombers. On the ice, it's game day for the Edmonton Oilers as they close out their preseason schedule tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. Puck drop goes at 8 o'clock. Regular season play begins Wednesday against the Flames, and this just in, according to Darren Dreger, the Oilers and head coach Chris Knobloch have agreed on a multi-year extension. In the WHL, the 3-1 Edmonton Oil Kings hit the road to Moose Jaw for a matchup with the Warriors. That one gets underway at 7 later tonight. Whether you're dreaming of crystal clear waters or exotic destinations, contact Chelsea LaBelle at Expedia Cruises in Northeast Edmonton to start planning your next cruise or vacation destination. Call 780-970-4834. Chris Johnston when we return to talk all things hockey. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
All right, 7:05. A little Controvoid, Dave, Canada's own, bringing you back here. Hour 2 of the Nielson Show, presented by Weiss Johnson. On Edmonton Sports Talk, proudly presented by Play Alberta, your Play Alberta early bird of the day, coming up later this hour. Weiss Johnson, of course, Edmonton's Train Home Comfort Specialist for nearly 50 years. Right now, you can get 10% off any new Train furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump. Get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfortable now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Train. Train, it's hard to stop a train. Visit WJSportsTalk.com today for more details. You're coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, where it's hot, and for a good price. 3 pieces of chicken right now for just $8. You know, chicken now, the sandwiches and all that. It's nice to just have the pieces, the drum, the breast, the thigh.
The essentials.
Old style,
The
right?
essentials.
Like, yeah, with the bones in the box. www.popeyeschicken.ca is where you can go for that. Good morning as well. If you are listening, Lieutenant Eric, Dave Jamieson in for Dustin Nielson this morning. Whether you're on iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app, The Source, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, YouTube, which is trucking along here. We've got to be at 100 now. I kind of promised that we would hit 100 likes. If you haven't already, give us the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, the Nielson Show, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9 on 95.7 Edmonton Cruise FM. Hour 2 as well, brought to you by, and we're just ahead of Chris Johnston here. He'll be joining us to kick off his weekly Friday appearances here during the hockey season. GameSense. When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed. Visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense. Mike Garafolo on the way later this hour to talk some NFL football right now, and it's fitting that his colleague Darren Dreger kind of tweeting out minutes ago the news that this market has been waiting for all preseason and off-season long, and that is the Chris Knobloch extension. But we'll get more on that, more on McDavid, more on the Oilers and how they look coming under the preseason gate here with Chris Johnston. He is our hockey insider. Brought to you by GS Construction. Hiring now. They're looking for experienced pipe layers, operators, top men, and superintendents. Visit gsconstruction.ca. GS Construction, serving your community for over 50 years. Welcome back to the program, Chris. First appearance. How was the summer? It's never as long, especially in your industry and business. But what'd you get up to? Anything? Any travels or exotic destinations that you checked out?
Yeah, I'd say the highlight of my summer was a trip to Japan. My brother-in-law's actually moved over there with his family for a work term. So we went and spent some time with him and the kids. Took them to Tokyo Disney, but also did some adult stuff too. That was pretty fun. So that was definitely the coolest thing I did this summer, but actually feeling relaxed. Sometimes the summer feels too short, I'd say, but for whatever reason, this was not one of them. I got the batteries recharged, and this is going to be a special season with the Olympics on tap, and I think a lot of interesting storylines around the league to be following.
Well, yeah, and you guys are you do the work, you put it in. You only deserve it that you get a little bit of time, a little bit to enjoy yourself and your family. But let's dive right into this. I know the McDavid news obviously takes precedence, but Darren Dreger 15 minutes ago, hearing the Oilers and head coach Chris Knobloch have agreed on a multi-year extension. Maybe not the most surprising news, but just your thoughts on this and what's to come down the pipe.
Well, I'd say if there's a surprise, it's probably a surprise we got this close to the start of the season before that kind of announcement was made, just because, well, let's face it, how could you start a career much better than Chris Knobloch has as a head coach? I know everyone would have liked a few more wins in the Cup Finals and maybe won a championship, but to take two teams to that stage is, a pretty strong statement about, I think a guy who's going to coach in this league for a long, long time. And so, I do think it's an important piece of business, though, even just signaling to the team, the direction things are going and knowing that Chris has that level of security for, a few seasons beyond this coming one just removes a question. And I saw it was a question that Stan Bowman was asked there by the local reporters this week. And it allows, I think, the Oilers to move forward with a little more certainty. And I'm sure they're hoping it's followed pretty soon here by another announcement of a contract being signed.
Chris, does the Knobloch extension, is that a box that you might imagine Connor McDavid and his group would want checked off as they work towards their decision?
It's not going to hurt anything. I do know Connor, likes working with Chris, and obviously they have that history going way back to the Ontario Hockey League. But more importantly, just what he's seen from him, in these parts of two seasons that they've been together with the Oilers, and I think overall franchise stability is going to be a positive thing for Connor, and we'll see if something gets done here. I don't know how real or not that he views the start of the regular season as kind of a deadline of sorts, but obviously the team is going to, hope to get something done. We've seen a number of extensions around the league get signed here in the last few days, and I think a lot of that's just tied to the fact, players generally speaking want to get the business done before the season is off and running, because it removes any kind of distraction or something that's in the background when they've got to play the game. So, I do think that, Connor's been pretty clear on his position and what he wants to see in Edmonton. And I certainly think it's a possibility that he signs a deal. But, as of right now, I was told that, no movement in that area just yet.
Okay, so, and that's where I kind of wanted to go with this because, doing this wild and wacky at times morning show, we like to have a little fun with these things. And obviously the theories and hot takes have been flying around surrounding this situation. And again, there's not much you can do. You can sit there and chew your nails off, or you can kind of have a little fun with it until it happens. But where, I guess, do you stand? Like the latest buzz now we're hearing is that Monday, the Oilers Hall of Fame room, there's been an event moved, and now something might happen there. Of course, Monday is October 6th. October 7th is the contract deferrals. Like you can add these things up too and kind of speculate. But where do you, Chris Johnston, come up? Because they've done a great job of keeping this. I mean, we saw the McDavid interview, with Friedman there, and everybody's reading between the lines and, he blinked twice, so this means that or that means this. But where do you kind of stand, I guess, on terms of timing, term? I know the money, but does that have to do as well with other players and the whole PA angle? But where do you kind of see this thing going? If you were in the office pool, shall we say, term, timing, and everything else?
The timing is the hardest one for me. I feel like if he's kind of waited this long, and again, I think he's been very clear about why that's been the case, as much as everyone wants to read into things. Like Connor said it out loud. He's explained exactly where he's at. I think he wants more time to evaluate the organization, to see where things are at, to get a feel for the current version of the team, and maybe even see some moves that happen, right? They've added Connor Ingram, I'm just saying, as a smaller move this week. But see where things develop before making the call, because this is a contract that starts next season. So I'm going to, in the office pool that we're playing, I'm going to say he doesn't sign before, on Monday or before the season starts. But it doesn't by any means have me thinking he's necessarily leaving Edmonton. I really think that he just needs a little more time to get comfortable with this. But certainly if he got the deal done on Monday, I could see the merits for that. If you're the organization, well, I'm sure they're giving him lots of space. There's probably, you want to make that phone call to hammer home the point, like that this would start the season off on a high, right? This would be, it would be a huge jolt of excitement, I'm sure, through the fan base, but even the dressing room, right? To the players that he's going to work with every day, to start the year off on that kind of note would be pretty special. So I think it's possible, but if I'm in the pool, you put me down for a short-term deal, something like a 2-year, $15 million contract. And I don't think it's being signed until later in the season.
Chris, none of this stuff happens, certainly at the level McDavid and other superstars are at, in isolation. Kaprizov's deal in Minnesota. How does that number, what Bill Guerin was able to do there, affect in any way conversations that the Oilers and McDavid's camp are having? What's the effect?
I think there obviously is an effect, right? It's a massive new contract that's in the marketplace. So, while I don't think that Connor McDavid or his agent goes to the Oilers and says, well, now $17 million, it's got to be that number, directly because of Kaprizov, but everyone is aware of the situation. The reason I think Connor's next deal will come in under that is for two reasons, really. He's going to sign to the Wild in that deal. That's a little different thing than if Connor signs a 2 or 3 or 4 year deal. And the second part is I just don't know, with looking at the cap picture the Oilers are dealing with, not just next season, but the seasons beyond that, is, I think that there would be concern from McDavid if he signed north of that number about, how things might develop in Edmonton around him in terms of limiting the organization's ability to put good players or enough good players in the other spots on the roster. So, my kind of gut feel on this and a little bit of reported feel is that he's likely to come in under that $17 million number on a shorter term deal, when it comes time to sign that contract, but other players in the league, I think it's going to be a magnet for them. Jack Eichel's having conversations with the Vegas Golden Knights. He's likely to sign an 8-year deal in Vegas. And so it's more of a direct comparable. I don't believe he's going to get to 17 million, but maybe it helps get him to 14 or 15 million. And that might not have been possible without Kaprizov. We're really entering this new era, and I think we all have to get used to it. There's sticker shock that comes with these contracts because we've become accustomed to certain types of players kind of falling in specific ranges. And, right now I think those ranges are being redefined. I don't know that Connor McDavid will be the one to do it, at least on this next deal if it's short term, but we're not too far off from Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes and some other pretty elite players being eligible to sign extensions next summer. And who knows, some of those guys might push towards 20 million if the cap keeps climbing.
Well, and sticking with the Oilers, and you mentioned, what this team will look like in the future for Connor and all those things. Your thoughts specifically on the forward group heading into this season with a different look, a more fresher and youthful look, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, they got a little bit younger, right? And I think that, that's kind of been a delicate balance. The Oilers were obviously, if not the oldest team last year, I think the second oldest team in terms of their age on the roster. And as a cycle of how these things go, you need to try to bring in some fresh blood. And so I think it's an interesting group, obviously, bring in guys like Ike Howard and Savoy, players that it's hard to know what to expect from them just because they haven't, had, full NHL seasons in the past to gauge off of, and they're young. There's going to be maybe some learning curve in there from them, some mistakes, but then there's also a lot of upside, which I think is pretty exciting. So, you counter that. I mean, you got Mangiapane there, who's obviously has in the past scored a lot of goals at times. He wasn't used in that way so much last year in Washington, was kind of more of a bottom six guy, but I'd have to think on a team like the Oilers, there's going to be opportunities for him to return to some of his past form. And so I think as a collection, they're in a good spot to enter the year, and wouldn't surprise me at all as we, go on here in the months ahead leading up to the trade deadline of March that, that might be an area too where, the Oilers are looking to add, much the way they did last year. They made the Trent Frederick deal before last year's deadline. I could see it being a point of focus, for the front office as the season goes along.
NHL insider Chris Johnston joining us, The Athletic and TSN, brought to you by GS Construction. Just going based off how that forward group has come together here, would you wager that we see more of 97 and 29 together or apart this season? I know Knobloch has the tendency, and I mean, it does go into opposition and who you're facing. You can kind of change it any time, but would you think we see more of them together on that top line or less of that?
I think you see more of it. I mean, let's face it, they want to get those players off to strong starts to the year. I mean, as much as the Oilers had great springs the last 2 years, they did kind of have rough beginnings to each of those seasons, at least for a team of their quality. And so, I think getting this season off on the right foot has been a huge point of focus for them. And so I think the best way to kind of do that is put your best two players together, and it's no mystery what's going to happen. I mean, they're going to put up a bunch of points, and I would think it's going to lead to some team success. I know that, eventually it always goes both directions, right? You break them up for a time, but it's always in the back pocket. I mean, I think over a number of coaches now in Edmonton, it feels like more often than not they're together. I mean, it's just too enticing. They're too dominant. It's too much for most opponents to handle, even if you have a really good checking line. I mean, you have to have two players with their abilities paired up, and obviously they're so familiar now. They played together for so long. There's benefits in that from Edmonton's standpoint. So I would think, unless it goes really poorly in October, that they'll be more together than apart this season. And I think it's going to be monster years for both of them because of the stakes of everything going on. I mean, from the disappointment of last year's second straight Cup final loss to the fact that Connor's talked about wanting to score more this season. I think he's got a renewed emphasis on his game, and they know the stakes of a year like this where, at least at this stage, it's not for sure that Connor McDavid's going to be in Edmonton beyond this season. So I just think there's so much riding on making this a special year.
Chris, the reporting around Carter Hart's return to the NHL seems to lead him to Vegas. Do you believe that there was anyone else at this late hour involved in those discussions and who they might have been? I mean, obviously, we've heard about the Carolina, but is there anybody else that might make a last push?
I don't think so. It's pretty much a done deal, is my understanding. I don't believe he signed the contract officially just yet to start like the visa process and everything. But, I think that there's a pretty good understanding that that's where this is heading for Carter. And, ultimately, I think in the last couple of weeks today, since he's become a free agent, Carolina was definitely showing some interest there, and I think was a strong consideration for Carter. And Utah maybe before that was at least in the fringes of the conversation. But for Carter, my understanding is it's really been important for him to go play behind a good team to try to find a spot, where he's going to have a chance at success and where he's got a chance to play. And with the goalie jobs already largely spoken for around the league, I mean, he and the other players that were acquitted in that trial, didn't officially become free agents till September. I mean, most teams already had, solutions in net already, but I think Vegas is in a unique spot to offer him playing time because, after Aiden Hill, who's, been their number one, they have Akira Schmid, who's pretty inexperienced goalie at the NHL level, spent most of last year in the AHL for them. So, it's pretty clear there's a path to playing time with the Golden Knights for Carter Hart. Can't play until December 1st. But, and it's a team that I think he feels really confident that he can start to get, his career back going here because, excuse me, he hasn't played a professional game since January 2024. So it's going to be almost 2 full years between playing for him. And I don't know how that's going to impact. I don't know how anyone could say with confidence, what version of him you're going to get back after that much time off. So I would expect it's going to be Vegas, and we'll probably hear officially in the coming days.
Hughes in New Jersey the other day, Jackson Lacombe yesterday, 8 years, $72 million extension, highest in total money, I guess, in Ducks history, not the AAV, but you're right. It's a crazy new world, and it's really population us right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time to be a good player. Someone texted me yesterday, the good players are going to get paid. And, I think that it's a bit of, I don't want to call it trial and error, but there's a little bit of gambling going on right now too. I mean, because not only do you have the cap surging, but this is also the end of the window to sign your own players to 8-year contracts. That stops next summer because of the new CBA limits you to 7 years. So these young players, I think teams are going to look to try to sign 8-year deals just to lock up as much of their best years in the league that they can. And, they're going to pay a premium to do that. And in the case of Jackson Lacombe, who had a really nice season last year in Anaheim, he's really had one good NHL season. So that's a big bet to make on him at that age. But, it could pay off handsomely. I mean, if he keeps taking strides forward and becomes, a true number 1 or number 2 type defenseman in the league, and the cap keeps going up and players are getting paid more around him, we might come to look at that as a value deal for the Ducks in 3 or 4 years' time. But the day it was signed, for sure, my phone blew up with people reacting to that one. It was a surprise to them. And that's kind of where I'm basing my comments, on saying we've got to get our heads wrapped around this. It's going to take a little while for us all to catch up, but I think we're going to see some big contracts handed out here still in the next few weeks, just because of all this, the rules changing with the new CBA coming into effect. And also everyone's projecting the cap to surge, well beyond even 95.5 million where it will be this season.
And Chris, will we see you tomorrow catching a home run ball going down on a hot dog as the Yankees visit the Jays?
Tomorrow.
Are you there?
You won't see me tomorrow, but if you're watching closely for Game 2, I'm going to be there to watch the Jays take a 2-0 lead in that series, and I definitely will be eating a hot dog.
Good for you. I love it. I'm glad you got in there, man. Enjoy it. Welcome back as well to the program. You're a hit with the listeners and viewers. So have a good weekend. Enjoy the baseball and look forward to more of your hockey takes as the season kind of gets underway here. Chris Johnston, our hockey insider. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Brought to you by GS Construction. They are hiring now, looking for experienced pipe layers, operators, topmen, and superintendents. GSConstruction.ca is where you want to go if you want to work with them, serving your community for over 50 years. Good that he got in. Luke Gazdic yesterday was trying to get in. He's trying to he's going to wait for one of those service doors to open, somebody delivering something in the back, and he'll put his foot in there and just get in there. Yeah. Anyway, and get in. I mean, it's just getting a general,
just a GA stand in the
walk around. It doesn't really matter. You just want to be in the place. It'll be rocking for sure.
Will Geddy Lee be there behind home plate?
Will that Marlins fan be there with his visor and the fake hair or whatever? Yeah. That's the question. So there you have it. He filled out his office pool card, 2-year type of deal. 15. I think that's kind of where most people are leveling out on.
But if that's the case, if it is a 2-year, fill in the dollar figure later.
Sure.
How will that land in oil country?
I think given the nervousness, and Trev can probably guide us here because you are, you take the temperature of fan.
Oil country.
Man, the streeter, if you will. 2 years is better than no years. And I've my theory too is this now puts onus on the organization to,
But beggars could not be choosers.
Well,
is
no,
what you're saying.
yeah, but
yes.
Now the organization does have to. Okay, well, now 2 years, you have a short window in front of you. You have to do the work to make him sign another
Well, if
deal when
that
that comes up.
doesn't scream win now, not win,
No,
but win
yeah.
now, right?
Yeah,
Fair.
Yeah,
Nice.
2 years.
That's good. Yeah. 2 years. You take them.
Well, I'm
2
not
days.
going to say no to
2
2
days.
years.
Play a
I
little
got 2 more
hardball.
days of Connor. Honestly.
A week by week deal.
Yeah.
You kind of.
Yeah, we'll put you on the Tommy Lasorda. 1 year, 1 year, 1 year.
Why not? Yeah.
Prove it. Yeah,
it's just-
McDavid on a prove it deal. You know someone will tweet that out.
Show me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Show us.
Show us, Otani.
Yeah.
Let's get in your Play Alberta early bird of the day here. And once again, speaking of McDavid, you can hop on this puppy right now. I might use my $50 free bet on this.
Whoa.
Have you hopped on this yet, Trev? Plus 121. Go to playalberta.ca on your web browser, or you can download the app, make it easier for yourself. You hit sports on the top tab, EST specials on the left. It's the partner parlay. Connor McDavid, over 36 regular season goals, and Leon Draisaitl over 40. You can get that for plus 121 right now. McDavid, 36 or over.
36.
Draisaitl, 40 over. You're liking that one, hey? Mm-hmm. You'd
Doable.
You'd ride
achievable.
with that one, yeah. Plus 121, you can get that right now under EST specials. And of course, the promo codes for October, EST50, EST Sports, EST Casino for a $50 free bet. It's more than just sports. You can meander around the casino up there as well. The early bird bet for this weekend's CFL slate as well. Dusty headed up. Riders money line tonight. They're in Ottawa. And Lions money line when they host the Stamps tomorrow night. Those have been boosted plus 136. I know the Puka Nakua for the Thursday nighter hit last night, 6.5 receptions and the touchdown. He got that. So not really a sweat there, I guess, when it comes to Puka Nakua, and he's having a great season. But hop online right now, playalberta.ca. Use your game sense as well. Win betting or the Play Alberta app, EST specials. Once again, you can do the whole CFL slate this week, NFL, NCAA football as well. As Lucas texted in earlier, I want to find this text, Dave. You'll appreciate this.
Sure, I will. Yes.
You know, Lucas is a big college football. Good morning, gentlemen. We'll be having the college football betting guest on today, who had the script. If I paid him $7.99 per minute, he would give me his sure shot pick. Was that that was you and Iwanek doing that program with what's his face?
Yes.
Eh?
What was his name?
Oh, okay, we don't know that. Yeah. Well, if it comes to you later on, just
We'll
barge
get it.
in and
Yes.
let us know because, the shoe-in, the lock of the week, if you will. Yeah.
Those were great. And we had every question scripted. And 1 week I was off, and Low Tide decided he was going to go off script.
What he asked about Notre Dame?
Well. Yeah,
he was
did
getting
not
into
land well.
Irish talk there.
Yeah.
Not good. So, once again, McDavid, 36 regular season goals, Draisaitl, 40, 120, plus 121 right now in the CFL Moneyline parlay, Riders Moneyline, Lions Moneyline boosted to plus 136. You can find all that juicy stuff up. PlayAlberta.ca or the Play Alberta app. Once again, make your bets count for you and everyone else with the app. Hundreds of player prop bets, the biggest leagues, NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, you name it. Not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Deposit today. Once again, those promo codes, EST50, EST Sports, EST Casino for a $50 free bet. Let's hit a sports update right now for the fine folks at Park Mazda. Dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he can't wait till casino night at Park Mazda, which he holds every November down at the dealership. You can check him out today, parkmazda.ca, or visit him in person in the park. Nielson Show brought to you by Weiss Johnson. And, of course, Edmonton Sports Talk as a whole brought to you by Play Alberta. Hour 2, and just getting on the Play Alberta, Hour 2 of the Nielsen Show is brought to you by GameSense. Win gambling. Set a budget before you play. Stay informed. Visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your GameSense. And we are taking text of the day, probably the route, once again, Monday morning, the Oilers alumni room booked off. Wrong answers only. What's going down in the alumni room on Monday? 780-218-9999, Paris Drew's inbox. Wrong answers only, and you could be winning the Royal Pizza text of the day. We'll be back with a little that's good for the Italian Center shop, and we'll get to the gridiron here. Week 5 in the NFL kicking off last night. We'll discuss the entire slate with Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. That rounds out hour 2. Dave Jamieson in for Dustin Nielsen, Lieutenant Eric here, and a YouTube Trev with the sports update on the Nielson Show on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta.
Just a few moments ago, according to Darren Dreger, the Oilers and head coach Chris Knoblauch have agreed on a multi-year extension. Knoblauch is coming off back-to-back finals losses as the bench boss in just under 2 years with the team. On the ice, it's game day for the Edmonton Oilers as they close out their preseason schedule tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. Puck drop goes at 8 o'clock. Regular season play for the Oil begins Wednesday against the Flames. In Major League Baseball last night, the New York Yankees punched their ticket to the ALDS with a 4-0 win over the Boston Red Sox. That sets up a showdown with the Toronto Blue Jays on Saturday, the first ever postseason meeting between the two clubs. First pitch is set for 2:08, and elsewhere, the Cubs knocked off the Padres 3-1 to earn a matchup with the Milwaukee Brewers, while the Detroit Tigers doubled up on the Guardians 6-3. Detroit now advances to face Cal Raleigh and the Mariners, with both of those series beginning Saturday. In the NFL, Week 5 kicked off with the thriller. The San Francisco 49ers edged the Rams 26-23 in overtime. Mac Jones threw for 342 yards and 2 touchdowns, moving San Francisco to 4-1 on the season, while the Rams fall to 3-2. Week 5 action rolls on Sunday. To the CFL, Week 18 gets underway tonight as the 10-4 Rough Riders visit the 4-10 Ottawa Red Blacks. Kickoff is set for 5:30 with Dustin Nielsen on the call, and just 2 other games on the slate this weekend. Hamilton travels to Toronto to battle the Argos, while Calgary heads west to face the BC Lions. As for the Elks, they are on a bye and return next Saturday when they welcome in the Blue Bombers. And back to hockey in the WHL, the 3-1 Edmonton Oil Kings hit the road to Moose Jaw for a matchup with the Warriors. That one gets underway at 7 later tonight. The sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, your dealer for life.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button. Thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki in a tuxedo t-shirt because it says, like, he wants to be formal, but he's also here to party too.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
.35, hour 2 of the Nielsen Show continuing here. That's a little Block 57 taking you in as the goth synth pop dance party continues here on a Friday.
In honor of me.
Yes, well, this is your genre, as many people don't know, but you like to mix it up.
I like the harder stuff.
Church of John, Why After Hours, hey? a stranger to that basement.
Heavy Metal Lunchbox.
Yeah.
I listen to all those shows.
Mark
Rogers.
Mark Rogers, absolutely. Keeping it locked. Dave in for Dustin Nielsen, who is off doing his CFL duties for the week. Lieutenant Eric, YouTube Trev here as well, keeping you updated on everything. Of course, the news in the morning. Chris Knobloch nearing a multi-year extension with your Edmonton Oilers. iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app. If you're on YouTube, once again, remember to hit that thumbs up, pound the like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, the Nielsen Show, 6 to 9, Monday to Friday, 95.7 Cruise FM. And don't forget, you can also listen to us at the source, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, the OG, the original. Listen live button up on there. Hour 2 of the Nielsen Show, presented by GameSense. When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed. Visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. If you gamble, use your GameSense. And the Nielsen Show, presented every day by Weiss Johnston, Train Home Comfort Specialists. You can get 20% off a package price right now. You can bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump. Visit WJSportsTalk.com for more details on that. Let's get into that's good for the Italian Center. We got NFL analyst Mike Garafolo coming up to round out hour 2. But that's good. And we could go, that's good that the Italian Center shop West End are getting some new neighbors in Wayne Sports Cards, which is the delicious EST stack here on the west end of town. But Italian Center, you can check out their Massimo Heat and Serve meals, made fresh daily, ready for you to take home. Heat and Serve spaghettis, penne, raviolis. You can just get the sauce if you'd like. Make your own pasta. They have a nice pasta aisle with a lot of different that you'd find in the regular grocery store. A lot of more in-depth pastas.
Bespoke pasta.
Absolutely. Get individual and family size today. That's good. We're going for a little baseball. We'll carve out some time to talk Jays, Yankees, and, of course, the other divisional series happening, but a firm focus on this one. And it does make sense, as we were educated in the opening hour, why these two teams haven't faced each other in the postseason.
Yes.
And, again, with the whole introduction of the wild card, I seem to, in 10, 15 years, the wild card will be its own league. You'll have like a relegation promotion system where you play the season in a wild card, and then the top 5 teams get promoted to the major leagues.
I see you. I know what you're up to. This whole relegation, you're trying to soccerize everything.
That's what I'm doing. First, I wanted to do with the CFL, but there's not enough teams.
I know.
You can't.
You and Stuart Johnson, you're out to wreck things.
So let's dive into this. Okay. We were talking, and I'm not going to get too analytical, although I don't mind the analytics, and I don't mind the numbers.
If you won't?
If you want to crunch the numbers, you can.
Sure.
Jays, Yankees, this has me salivating. And, again, I just think if the Red Sox would have found a way to get out of that wild card series, I don't think it would have that same pop, and I don't think that would work in the Blue Jays' favor. It's the big bad Yankees. This is the pinstripes.
Bronx Bombers.
They can grow facial hair now.
Company.
Yes. Sure.
This is the Bronx Bombers hairsuit version, right? It's with Cam Schlittler. Trevor was
the Schlitheads will be out in New York. Hey, they'll be
yeah.
So here's the schedule as it stands, with everything now kind of set up in both the National League and the American League. Of course, Jays tomorrow, game 1 from the T-Dot, 2:08 first pitch. And aside from them playing in the wild card series where you had to kind of take an afternoon off work and at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday go watch them somewhere, it's Saturday, baby. It's the afternoon. You are, again, I know you like to watch at home with your bunting hanging off the railing.
Yes.
But plans.
You hunker, I will hunker down, as you say, with the bunting that I set up for all of the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said in the break, you got to catch one of these Jays playoff games in a bar. We've all done it for the NHL. We've all done it for Super
a bar,
Bowl.
a pub,
yes,
or a tavern.
Right, a local
the
tavern.
The dirtier, the better.
Right, there is something that takes it to a different level.
Can I eat peanuts and throw the shells on the floor? I brought my own bag.
You can in my bar.
And this goes back to, we used to go to Gibbons for playoff watch parties when Johnny was managing the club. Those were fun. I hitchhiked out there one evening, which was quite a trip.
I bet.
I went to the Hilltop Pub for a 1 o'clock first pitch. place was bumping with the regulars and some other vagabonds that kind of
Trev.
This is the man I want to hear from.
Yeah,
because you're a man about town. You're a young man.
Oh, yeah.
This is Oilers. You're going out. It's the nightlife.
That's different.
It's 8 o'clock puck drop. You're going out to the bars, and then you go to the nightclubs. You spill out to there. But 2:08 on a Saturday afternoon. You're wearing your Jays cap.
Where
it's the
are
Jays
ya?
and Yankees. Set the scene. Peyton has a picture.
Okay, well, the last time the Jays made the playoffs, I was 17.
Okay, so you're on the cusp.
So I couldn't go out.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Establishments might have.
Yeah, I
let
guess.
you
I
in.
suppose. I know. Well, yeah, I suppose. But that's obviously not the case this time around. Where am I going to go?
Like you have a neighborhood pub, a watering hole, if you will.
I do. But you know what? Like when I came to Edmonton, it's a throwback to me. I like Kingsway Boston Pizza, man. That's where I first started. Those are my roots in Edmonton. That's where I first started.
That, my friend.
A BP's works.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the thing I love about going there is I know all the regulars, and I feel like. Man, I feel like I own the place. You know, when you go into a bar and you can do whatever you want.
Everybody knows your name.
Yes. And I'm just like, oh, let's go, baby. I yell, I scream. People are like, oh, that's Trev. It's fine.
You walk in and they go, Trev.
The eye rolling.
Yeah.
This guy.
And then he always has an anecdote when he walks in. Oh, my wife. Yeah.
And it's the only place in the city where I have my spot. You know, like everyone's like, no, don't sit there. Like I sit at the Wood.
Do you have a plaque?
No, maybe one day. Maybe one day.
With your employment this year to that year. Like you should have a...
I don't mind that.
No, he's not dead. He just doesn't work here anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
We remember him.
But every now and then, like I'll text the regulars, save my spot. And sometimes I don't have to. The chair's already kind of tilted, leaning forward. And then I just go and then I'm like, let's go. And I bowl with all the servers there. I'm still friends with all the staff at that BP's. I go every Friday, which is fun. And so I know the staff, I know everyone in there. And so I can really let loose. And that's what I like about going to Kingsway.
So we would wager that you will probably find your way there tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be there.
Because you don't got any other plan on Saturday afternoon.
No,
You'll
nothing.
put the yard work to the side. You and Igor. You'll say, Igor, I'm heading out.
Yes.
Who's Igor?
His landlord.
Igor
Is that his name, right?
Alexander.
Alex, yeah. He's
okay.
Same thing.
He's a Russian man.
He is
I just
very
call
Russian.
him I make up a name every time, but he'll give you the day off.
Oh,
Maybe
he'll
you bring
give me
him.
the day off. Yeah, maybe.
You should. Why not?
Should I?
Is he a ball fan?
I don't know if he'll like to see me because I'm very proper when I see him. Like, hello, Alex.
I think it's time you two got to know each other a bit. Peel away the layers here.
I don't know.
Let the hair down, Trev.
Yeah.
Bring him in. Bring him into the big tent.
Okay, so where will you be tomorrow? 208-780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox or in the nasty chat. I know a few people are flexing lightly in the nasty chat saying, I will be at the game in Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's okay. That's fine. I guess you live in Canada.
And you can only buy tickets. Do I understand this correctly? They're not selling to those outside our borders.
No, the heavy tariffs on those tickets. They'll say you pay 500% above the retail price.
Okay.
So tomorrow 208, Sunday 208 as well. And then Tuesday for game 3, of course, best of 5. Tuesday back in New York, no time yet on that one. And if necessary, game 4 in New York and 5 in Toronto, October 8th and 10th, which will be a Wednesday, that would be a stack. Oilers Flames Wednesday.
Too much.
Perhaps a Jays
System overload.
Jays Yankees game
System
4.
overload.
And if necessary, a game 5 back in Toronto, that'd be Friday, October 10th. So a week at the most of a divisional series between the Jays and Yankees. And of course, in the other ALDS, you'll have the Mariners taking on the Tigers. That goes tomorrow, game 1, 6:38 first pitch from Seattle. And the National League, Dave, I know you're hard on the Milwaukee Brewers. # Brew Crew. It's the Brewers and the Cubs from Milwaukee tomorrow afternoon, afternoon, 12:08 Mountain Time.
Christian Yelich, inspirational leader. Bless you, Trev.
Yes.
Is there a sport that sheds its regular season skin better than baseball? It's like a lizard of professional sports. Like
we wait long enough.
And you go, God, you see opening day, you take a miss on a good chunk of the regular season, and then you get to this stuff. And it is like a different sport. and intensity and interest. It's fascinating.
Well, you play 162. You're in the wild card. You're in a best of 3. It seems wildly unfair, yet from highly entertaining from the neutral when you've gone this whole slog all summer long to get to a 3-game series. Now best of 5.
Your way in, and then you just get punched out.
You drop the first one, you're behind the 8 ball, and here we go.
That's great.
So that's good for the Italian center. Jays playoff ball, and not of a wild card variety. This is the divisional series. Jays Yankees tomorrow. Where are you heading? What are you doing? Hit us up 780-218-9999. Or in the nasty chat. Or if you want, I think Trevor's thrown out the invitation there. BP's Kingsway. Maybe reserve a seat, call ahead, because one for sure is taken already.
I will be there, yes. If any nasties want to show up, let's have a good time.
And Igor perhaps as well.
Igor might be coming now.
You should just invite him. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Because he's not a baseball guy, probably.
You can he's not a sports guy at all.
Oh, man.
That's the thing.
You got to get him in.
Yeah.
Let's move along here from the diamond to the gridiron. We'll be joined right now by our NFL analyst for the week. He joins us every Friday here on the Nielson Show. Dave Jamieson in for Dustin Nielsen, Lieutenant Eric. It's Mike Garafolo, and he is brought to you by, very nice to know here, Blue Water and Mobile Lubricants, the right mobile oil for the right reason at the right time. Blue Water and Mobile Lubricants. Philly guy, Mike, it's the Phillies, right? I'm not getting anything wrong here, correct?
No, that is correct. Yeah, so we're both freshly rested off our buys here, the Jays and the Phillies.
What are you thinking when it comes to the Dodgers? How are you feeling heading into this one?
Yeah, short series. I wrestle. I heard you just now, Lieutenant Eric, about this, and you play all summer. I mean, it used to be only a select few got in the playoffs, so it's like you truly earned it. Now it feels like it could be a little cheap. If you're the third wild card team and you're in the postseason and you win a series, I mean, how many series did teams lose to the White Sox or the A's? It's just all along the way. So it's just one of those series, right? It's just like it's not your time to hit, and so I struggle with that because I'm in the baseball thing all spring, all summer, and then now honestly I have not watched a pitch of postseason baseball because I'm just so locked in on football and work and all that stuff. That will change tonight. I will be locked in for the Phillies game as much as possible. Although we do have a show right in the middle of it, so that's the other part I struggle with baseball. Whereas I'm a big hockey guy. I haven't dove into the hockey yet, but come the playoffs, it's nice and slow for football, so I'm fully invested in that. I don't know which one I actually prefer.
Yeah, the overlapping and navigating that can be a tricky, and as you pointed out, we'll get into this right now, Week 5 kicking off, it can be gutsy. A gutsy performance by a banged-up 49ers team, which continued to get banged up as the game went along, but I know we always sometimes tongue-in-cheek just about the Thursday Nighters, but that was well worth the price of admission last night, was it not?
I went back and watched the last couple of minutes of the game this morning, and sometimes you got to do that to really appreciate what you saw last night. Because last night it sort of felt sloppy, and you're like, "Oh, Thursday night football," and all the mistakes being made. Then you watch this morning, you're like, "No, it was a really exciting game. It was a well played game." I mean, look, you had the fumbles, you had the drops. You have those on Sunday. They seem to get magnified when it's a Thursday game because you're saying short week and all this stuff. But the one thing about the 49ers, they are relying, and I mentioned this coming into the year. They're relying on a lot of youngsters, a lot of rookies that are playing on their defense, with Collins being one of them with that big punch out by the goal line. But 4 of their first 6 games are road games this year. And that's a good thing for them because when the defense is on the field, now you can say last night, whose house, not exactly the Rams' house. There were a lot of San Francisco fans. But usually when you're on the road and the defense is on the field, it's quiet. So they've been able to communicate the first couple of weeks of the season as a young defense, and they feel like that's really helped them sort of find that chemistry there. And you're seeing some of the plays by these young guys and these rookies, which was absolutely necessary with all the guys they were missing. Now you think about it, Brock Purdy potentially coming back for the next game. George Kittle's coming back soon. They can get Ayuk on the field at some point. I know they said he's a way off, but you're looking at them banged up, and you're saying, oh, how they're going to survive. The reinforcements could be on the way at some point for this team.
Mike, the Baltimore Ravens have been so good for so long. I guess I've, like many, have fallen into the trap of saying, well, why aren't they good now? They're 1-3. When you look at them, where do you go in terms of your greatest deficiency? What have you identified as the greatest deficiency for them right now?
health and players. I mean, they're just losing Nnamdi Amadabike on the defensive line was enormous. Not your average household name for the casual fan, but a guy that just was an impact player in the middle of their defensive line, and they've been missing that now. And they're not getting him back. A lot of the other guys, like if Lamar Jackson doesn't play this week, which just sounds like it's less than 50-50 at this point, Kyle Hamilton on the injury report. Kyle Van Noy's working his way back. Marlon Humphrey is hurt. I mean, I could keep going on and on here. These guys will, at some point, there's short-term injuries. I think the one thing, and this is a huge game for them, and if they wound up winning this game, despite not having Lamar Jackson and having to lean on Cooper Rush, which, by the way, I think early in the week, from what I was hearing, you know, the people I spoke to down there, well, if we have to lean on Cooper, we're comfortable with it. And in my head, I'm going, they already know it's probably going to be Cooper Rush. So they truly believe they prepared this week as if he was going to be the guy the whole time. And he's won games before for the Cowboys in the past as a spot quarterback. After their bye week, their schedule really lightens up. And if you get these guys healthy, this is a team that could go on a run at that point. I don't see anybody in the division, certainly not Cleveland or Cincinnati. I don't see Pittsburgh running away. Like, Pittsburgh could build a nice lead on them, but I don't see them running away with the division. So if you just kind of battle through, if you win this week, obviously that's huge. But if you just kind of battle through, they feel like once they get to that stretch and get healthier, that they really can go on a run at that point.
Let's go back to Philly for a moment as well. 4-0 the Eagles are, but A.J. Brown, you know, popping up here over the last week and in front of the mic. Just enlighten us to what's kind of going on there with a 4-0 team that, you know, if you didn't know any better, you'd think that they were struggling or something like that.
The AJ stuff has always been there, and I've been the guy that a lot of times has to report on this stuff after. And as a reporter, you sort of walk that line between what you sort of feel and think and know for yourself and what they're telling you. So I've in the past said, well, you know, they're sort of downplaying AJ on the sideline, getting into it with Jalen, or AJ reading a book on the sideline, or AJ, you know, posting something on social media. And I thought we were going to get more of that on this one. And at this point, I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm done shoveling the dirt. Nothing to see here. And I give credit to AJ Brown, who said, you know what? My emotions got the best of me. Yeah, I was frustrated. That's how I was feeling. But he did spin it toward a positive. And this I truly believe. He's not a pad the stats, give me the ball because I want 100 catches type of guy. There are a lot of receivers that are like that. He's also gotten paid twice, so it's not a financial thing. It's truly about he's a competitive guy. Our offense is in the mud, and I can get us out of it. Throw me the football. So we did it against the Rams. Like, we had to in that spot. Now, the counter to that, and this is more along the lines of what you're talking about with people not talking about them as if they're a 4-0 team, is that the offense isn't passing the eye test right now.
Yeah.
When I do talk to people down there, they say, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff we're still figuring out and working on, and we've got to get better offensively and more explosive. But that being said, a lot of the times the quarterback and what we've done offensively has been dictated early in the season by situations. They lost Lane Johnson against the Rams. Matt Pryor came into the game as the right tackle. It was brutal from that side. Once they got Fred Johnson in, they shorted up. Okay, boom, he had more time. He could throw the one-on-one ball to A.J. Brown. That sparked the offense. So A.J. said, well, let's do it again. Well, Lane Johnson left the game again this past week against Tampa Bay. You had a defensive game against Kansas City where they were telling each other from an offensive standpoint, the entire coaching staff, just don't make a mistake. Do not give them a turnover. We're in this game. Defense is playing well, and they won the game. And that's what Jalen was caught with a hot mic saying, we won the game. We didn't even have 100 yards, but we won the game. That's sort of the mentality and the way that they've been feeling. In Philly, and I grew up there, I know it, the mentality is all this stuff's going to catch up to them at some point, and it might, but they feel good about the fact that despite all this, they've been able to win these games.
Mike, I've lost count as to how many quarterbacks the Cleveland Browns have rotated through since they returned to the league. Next up, Dylan Gabriel. What do we know about him, and what are expectations, if any?
Dylan Gabriel did a good job of, and he did this in college, seeing it, getting it out quickly, getting the football where it needs to be. Really the opposite of what we heard about Shedeur Sanders coming in, and really what we saw at times in training camp. I was there in training camp one day, and the difference in the processing and the ball getting out and being. Now, to be fair to Shedeur, the day I was there, because they rotated between second team and third team reps for those guys, he was with the third team that day. So that, you know, you're playing with inferior talent to Dylan Gabriel, but it was a consistent thing that we saw throughout. So I would say ordinarily in this game, I'd expect the ball to come out. I expect it to be in the right place. I say ordinarily because this is a Brian Flores coach defense he's going up against. And you've got to see a lot of things. You got to process a lot of things. They're going to have 7 across, who's blitzing, who's not blitzing. It's a lot to process for Dylan Gabriel in this case. A lot of times you like to have your rookie start his first game at home. This is neither home nor on the road because it's an international game. So I guess it's somewhere in between. They feel good about that. Which I think next week he has to go to Pittsburgh, if I recall that correctly, which might be a tough environment. But I would say if Dylan Gabriel winds up having a good game and the Browns are in it, it's because the ball is coming out quickly. They're not asking him to do too much, and more controlled type offense. And listen, Minnesota is extremely banged up, not just the quarterback position on offense, on the offensive line. This has got to be like a 17-14 Browns win type game, which is great because then you don't have to ask a lot of your quarterback anyway.
Carson Wentz also taking over from, as you mentioned, J.J. McCarthy injured there, as well as Tottenham Hotspur visit Leeds in Premier League action tomorrow, which frees up the stadium there in London for that game. Off the topic of quarterbacks, we are about a month away from the deadline. Where are we at in terms of like deals, talk in terms of that position? Has anything kind of started to simmer on the stove for that? Or when do you expect, if at all, talk to start heating up?
Yeah, I do. And it's been an active deadline the last couple of years. And the big one that everybody's talking about is when are the Bengals going to make a move for a quarterback? Does not seem like that's going to wind up being the case. I mean, they're not usually an aggressive type team anyway. The Kirk Cousins one doesn't make sense for a number of reasons for them. Financially is a big one. There's $10 million fully guaranteed next year. Plus, what are you taking on this year? For Russell Wilson, financially, it's not a lot of money because it's a $2 million base salary. So you're paying him $1 million and change. It's just a matter of what you'd have to give up there to get him from the Giants, which probably wouldn't be much, by the way. But they're still expressing confidence in Jake Browning, and they believe that he is a guy that can still somehow find a way to keep them competitive till Burrow comes. I mean, that's the other thing. Burrow's coming back in December. So if you trade for a quarterback, you're only handing it over to Burrow anyway. So I'm looking at that. Rick Woolen with the Seahawks is another guy whose name has come up here with regard to a team that could need a cornerback, a guy that played really well as a rookie, has sort of fallen off since then. So he's another name that we're keeping an eye on. It's still early. A lot of these are going to depend on, is a team competitive? Are they in the mix? I know Tyreek Hill would have been a name that we would have kept an eye on by the deadline, but obviously that is not going to happen. Now, I do expect that he will be a highly sought after free agent, which is going to be a bit of a leap of faith because he's still going to be early in his recovery by the time teams are going to have to make a decision on him in March, should the Dolphins walk away from his contract.
Mike, I don't think I've ever asked a question of an insider about the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I feel compelled to do it given their record and how they're playing. What have you seen of them? And Trevor Lawrence, I guess, like it feels now like he's more sort of fully realized, or maybe that's the people around him.
Well, he hasn't made critical mistakes, which has been the problem in the past. At key moments, he's made critical mistakes. He hasn't done that. So credit to Liam Cohen and the coaching staff for helping him do that. It's about to get real for them. They beat the 49ers last week, but that 49ers team with Purdy hurt during the game felt like something was a little off there, whereas they were really bucked up and ready to go for the Rams this week. The schedule has been to their advantage, and they've taken advantage of it. They now have 3 straight home games, but they're tough games, starting with the Chiefs on Monday night. I believe it's Seattle and then the Rams as well. So this is going to be, I think, the litmus test for the Jaguars, because if you got to go 2-1 if you're a competitive team. You got 3 straight home games despite who you're playing. So if they lose to the Chiefs, then you're looking, you got to sweep those next 2. These are tough games for them. They're playing well, despite the fact that Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't been the guy that they've gotten involved on the offensive side of the ball. Where's Travis Hunter? You're kind of taking a step back and going, how are they doing this? Devin Lloyd has been an absolute monster for them on defense, and the defensive player of the month named just yesterday. So they're doing it in a way I didn't think they would do, which is better defense than offense. And when it evens out, if it evens out, they could be an interesting team to watch here as a competitive team down the stretch.
Mike, good luck to your Phillies, man. Thanks so much for joining us. Week 5 already. You've been killing it this season. We look forward to more conversations next week. Enjoy, man.
Hey, we still remember 1993. So if that winds up being the case, we will gladly accept. Just I don't want to see Joe Carter on my TV at all, please.
I would mind that as a nice little rematch, though. Mike Garafolo, thanks so much. Your NFL analyst, he is brought to you every Friday at this time on the Nielson Show by Blue Water and Mobile Lubricants. The right mobile oil for the right reason at the right time. Blue Water and Mobile Lubricants, NFL analyst Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. 8 o'clock. Let's get to it. We'll get to a sports update here for Windsor Plywood Leduc with YouTube Trev. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since 1993 of all years. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Hour 2 of the Nielson Show has been for Game Sense as well. If you are laying down a little Jays bet or anything else CFL, NFL-wise this weekend, set a budget before you play. Stay informed. Visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your Game Sense. Hour 3 on the way. The Nielsen Show, as always, is well presented by Weiss Johnston and Edmonton's Train Home Comfort Specialists for nearly 50 years. Get 10% off any new Train furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of the month. Great deal there. Visit WJSportsTalk.com today for more details. Hour 3 will be coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio as well. Let's get to the update on the way. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. The rap for William Huff. And right now we need somebody to play kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. So if you want to go to Mr. Mike's, maybe that's the place where you want to take a little... You win the Mr. Mike's today. You go over to Mr. Mike's tomorrow for the Jays game, and you're having yourself a wonderful afternoon. 780-218-9999 is the Paris Julie's inbox. Text in, Trev, I want to play. Dave has the questions.
I sure do.
I have the Clubby Loop remix from the Vault. You'll be unlocking that. We are 20-0. In trivia in the 95.7 Cruise FM era. So we're looking to remain perfect, which we will do coming up next. And 3 questions too many as well for the great staff at Park Mazda on the way. 780-218-9999. Text in Trev. I want to play. Be by your phone. He'll be calling one of you coming up next. Sports update here. Hour 3 of the Nielsen Show on the way. This is Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta.
About an hour ago, according to Darren Drager, the Oilers and head coach Chris Knobloch have agreed on a multi-year extension. Knobloch is coming off back-to-back finals losses as the bench boss in just under 2 years with the team. It's game day for the Edmonton Oilers as they cap off their preseason schedule later tonight when they face the Vancouver Canucks. Puck drop for this one is at 8, and regular season play for the Oil begins next Wednesday against Calgary. Last night in Major League Baseball, the New York Yankees punched their ticket to the ALDS with a 4-0 win over the Boston Red Sox. New York now advances to face the Toronto Blue Jays in the ALDS on Saturday, being the first time these two will play in the postseason. First pitch goes at 2:08. Elsewhere in the majors from last night, the Cubs defeated the Padres 3-1. They'll now take on the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Detroit Tigers doubled up on the Guardians 6-3. Detroit will now face Cal Raleigh and the Mariners, both series starting on Saturday. It was a nail-biter that kicked off Week 5 in the NFL last night as the San Francisco 49ers got the win over the Rams 26-23 in overtime. Mac Jones threw for 342 yards, good enough for 2 touchdowns, which sees them improve to 4-1 on the season, while the Rams fall to 3-2. Week 5 action continues on Sunday. CFL Week 18 kicks off tonight, which sees the 10-4 Rough Riders visit the Ottawa Red Blacks to take on the 4-10 Red Blacks. Kickoff for this one goes at 5:30 with Dustin Nielsen on the call, and just 2 other games in the CFL this weekend. The Ticats will be in Toronto to face the Argos, and Calgary heads to BC to take on the Lions. As for the Elks, they'll have a bye this week and won't be back in action until next Saturday when they welcome in the Blue Bombers. And back to hockey in the WHL, the 3-1 Oil Kings are in Moose Jaw to take on the Warriors. This one gets underway at 7. The sports update brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
right, 8:06, hour 3 of the Nielson Show begins here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Of course, the Nielson Show presented by Weiss Johnston, EST presented by Play Alberta. Dave Jamieson in for Dustin Nielsen, Lieutenant Eric coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. It's the signing you've all been waiting for this morning.
We have news.
We have news. Head coach Chris Knobloch, 3-year contract extension for the coach through the 28-29 season. So make of that of what you will, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat, does 3 years work? Does that mean anything for the upcoming McDavid deal?
It's a layer to it. I mean, we talked about it with Chris Johnston earlier in the show, that it's a level of comfort that McDavid would have, knowing that the coach who's had great success in the last couple of years, or in his first 2 years.
Earned success, right? Like, I mean, everybody anybody can coach this team when you have 97-29. I mean...
It's also really easy to screw it up. People used to say the same thing about Glenn Sather. How good a coach can he be?
We've had coaches here.
Those lines.
We've had coaches here in this era of McDavid before that have. So this is, I mean, 2 Cup Finals, 3-year extension for Knobloch.
Justified. And I need it to be fact checked here. Scotty Bowman took the Blues to, was it 2 or 3 straight Stanley Cups when the NHL expanded?
Somebody will correct you.
I can't imagine anybody started an NHL head coaching career and done better than that, and Knobloch's done too, right?
It's his demeanor, which people, kind of, it's so timid and that's not how a hockey coach is supposed to be. So therefore, he doesn't.
It's 2025.
I'm just saying, not my thoughts, theirs.
Oh, okay. Well, I disagree with those thoughts.
As do I. The 8 o'clock hour on the Nielsen Show brought to you by GD Liquidators. Auctions and appraisals, Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items for almost 40 years. Don't miss their monthly online auctions. www.gdliquidators.com. Canadian owned and operated. Make them your first call, 780-447-2787. Or you can check them out in person, 14510 124th Avenue. So your thoughts on Knobloch's 3-year extension, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat, as Rip City Step points out, a knob extension, if you will. Today, we are as well giving out $20 to Royal Pizza for text of the day. So Rip,
knobs fully extended. That's the headline in the Jim Matheson piece.
Well, sure. Rip, you're coming closer to the Royal Pizza GC. So keep them coming. 780-218-9999 in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Let's get into some kind of easy trivia right now. For Mr. Mike's, once again, we are looking at places to watch the Jays tomorrow. Maybe you can head to a Royal Pizza. The one I used to grace in Inglewood did have the TVs. It was like my BP's, but just under a different name. But Mr. Mike's is also a place you can go. Steakhouse Casual. New location opening soon in Bonnie Doon. Check out MrMikes.ca for more details. Or you can order online. Watch the game at home. Skip the dishes with Mr. Mike's or DoorDash Mr. Mike's. Eat locally. Enjoy casually. When we have somebody in for Dustin Nielsen, I allow you to come up with the kind of easy trivia question. And you have him here, eh?
Yes,
and you
I
said high heat today.
I did. You better know your baseball. Who do we have?
Wow.
By the way, Trev, who do we get?
This is Brad.
Brad will be playing for the $25 to Mr. Mike's. Also looking to take us to 21-0 in the 95.7 Cruise FM era, which you can hear this show live Monday to Friday, 6 to 9 on 95.7 Cruise FM or on YouTube or the iHeart TuneIn radio apps.
High fidelity.
EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Yes.
He'll also be unlocking a Club Beat Loop remix from the vault. So really no pressure for Brad this morning. Let's bring him in. Brad, how you doing?
Not bad. You're right. Absolutely no pressure.
No, you've got this.
Yes. All right. Now,
are you a ball fan? Baseball? You like it?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Then you're the absolutely right guest for all of this. So
you need 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
We'll start the ticker after Dave reads the first question.
All right. Here we go. Which team will the Blue Jays face in the ALDS?
New York Yankees.
Have the Jays and Yankees ever met in the postseason?
No.
What sport does Cam Schlittler play?
Baseball.
Who won the NFL's Thursday Nighter?
49ers.
Who did the Oilers play tonight?
You can answer if you want.
I've forgotten who they played.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, you win. It does not matter.
That's what happens when you have the heebie-jeebies.
3 ball. Yes, sir. There's 40. 40 for Bryant.
Jerry, it's Frankenstein's. Like Mr. Steinbrenner's here. George is dead. Call me back.
There it goes. See ya.
Marcus Johansson looking for Beagle. Drive. He scores. Jay Beagle, top shelf.
That's a strike. This is now or never stuff.
Jordan Spieth, the leader for the moment. The third shot punched into Rays Creek again.
13 steps on the pyramid on your dollar bill.
That's great. 13 steps on the pyramid.
13 letters in E pluribus unum. 13 bars on the shield. 13 leaves on the olive branch. 13 fruits. And if you look very closely, 13 arrows.
Again.
Goaltender's out. Crosby looks ahead. Hornquist looking for the hat trick. He scores!
Put on this headset again. There's Castellanos.
If you're looking at the dollar bill, notice the arrangement of the 13 stars in the right-hand circle.
Lovely ball. Here's Milner in the box on the right. Great ball by Milner. Lundgren. Yeah! He scores! Wow! Listen to Olmo. Listen to the ground. This is unbelievable. Dejan Lovren is stopping time. Wow! Liverpool players dive into the cup.
I listen closely.
Great quality. I'm out of breath.
There you go, a Dejan Lovren goal on the pitch. Some Vin Scully involved as well. I think even a Jay Beagle goal included in that Club Beat Loop remix from the ball. Congratulations to Brad, a real team player. You said baseball, then you throw him in NFL. You just Thursday nighter, have at it.
Yeah.
And he delivered. Now, he knew the
5
hockey.
to a player.
Yeah,
You know
if he
what?
had a longer ticker, he would have got 5 out of 5.
Yes, I would have also accepted and been quite happy to accept if he'd said, I don't care who they're playing tonight. Because it is preseason.
Well, it's preseason. I mean, but the end of preseason, so you're kind of gearing up. It's post preseason.
Yes.
Christian in Winnipeg in the nasty chat. Marcus Becker. Yes, that was Marcus Becker. Glad you heard it. German kind of techno, but children's techno. He sings.
I
about,
didn't know that was a category.
It's great stuff.
Okay.
It bangs. Let's get into 3 questions too many right now for the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who, much like Christian in Winnipeg, is a huge Marcus Becker fan. Check them out today, parkmazda.ca or Park Mazda in the park. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. I got 3 questions. Usually we like to have people submit them. That's fine, usually for the guest. If you have any, maybe we can flex one in for Dave. If you have Dave, you are a well of knowledge and stories. So if you want to hear something from Dave, you can request. But I do have 3 questions locked and loaded, ready to go. First off, though, social medias. Where can people follow you?
Well, there's really only one place. At the Dave Jamieson.
On the X.
On the X. Yes, I heard it on the X.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Although I really gave some serious thought this week to entering the Blue Sky fray.
Oh.
Whether I should go there.
Do you have a handle yet? Have you laid claim to a handle?
No, I haven't.
The Dave Jameson. Dave Jameson.
Is it difficult to acquire a handle?
I don't know.
Have lots been spoken
Never
for?
been to the site.
Okay.
Phone Will after the show. He can walk you through it.
I'd like not to do that.
So that's where you are. Trev, this is an opportunity for you to pump all of your channels. Go.
It's really just Twitter. YouTube_Trev. You can follow me if you want to see what I'm going to be getting up to tomorrow at Boston Pizza.
You're still not back on the gram.
Blue Jays, baby. I got on for about maybe like a day.
What
and
happened there?
I lost the spark. The spark's gone, which is good
because he didn't want to watch everybody. All the Panthers.
There's a lot of
So he made the conscious decision to say no.
Just step away.
Yeah,
which is good. It's very
took
smart.
a lot out of me. Like it actually affected me. So I couldn't see it. I just go on walks, and it was good because now I like walking. I started walking a lot more, which is good. So yeah, I'm off Insta, but I'm on the Twitter at YouTube_Trev.
If you get back on the Insta, then it can send you funny videos again.
I know, that was fun. We sent
now I have to do with Zach, which is entertaining in its own. But
Zach's videos that he sends.
Oh, they're out there, baby.
I don't watch half of them.
They are something. Yeah. Once again, good morning. Hour 3 of the Nielsen Show. We got Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week coming up. Your chance to win $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, which would be a nice treat for Jays playoff baseball tomorrow. I think you could kind of indulge in some beverages there from Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. So that's coming up all ahead of the wrap for William Huff as well. And hour 3, once again, brought to you by GD Liquidators. So question 1, get into this right now. Do you want to go baseball or hockey? I'll give you the option.
Well, if I say hockey, is it tied to the news of the day?
It is not, which the news of the day is.
If you're just joining us.
Well, the signing we've all been waiting for, obviously, and that's Chris Knobloch, 3-year extension. The Oilers making it official, tweeting it out. Of course, we had some reports from Darren Dreger earlier. Chris Johnston, our hockey insider, weighing in on it as well early in the second hour, if you want to go back and listen to that on the pod. But yes, the Oilers have made it ex-official, if you will, announcing the 3-year extension for head coach Chris Knobloch through the 28-29 season. So I don't know if... Now, Monday, again, we're all going with the Monday scenario now. The Hall of Fame room, an event was bumped. The room is now clear. This is announced today. They're not that's not gonna. This isn't gonna be like a 4-day event.
No, they wouldn't drag out a coach's extension.
Right? Yeah. We'll wait till Monday. We'll announce it Friday. Wait till Monday.
Yeah, this is an important order of business for the Oilers. Glad they got it done.
Yeah,
all of it makes sense. I don't care about the dollars. Why any of that matters anyhow when it comes to coaches, but it is another layer of certainty for an organization that, right now, depending on where you think they are, on the cusp of another run to the Cup.
The window.
Doing it. A window. It's the right move with the right guy. And, just before the break, you were talking about how some people just don't seem to think that he has the requisite amount of fire.
It's some people, I will just say. I personally don't, but...
What more would you want out of the individual other than the success they've had?
More success.
Okay. That's not lost on me. But if you want him to go full Jim Playfair on the bench,
we want that.
Empty the stick rack and do all of that stuff.
We want it, but then when it happens, we don't want it.
And then we're embarrassed
by it.
Yes.
Too tough.
Right.
Yeah. So, no, I think it's a smooth decision, a smart decision. And his boy plays on the Huskies as well, Edmonton Huskies. He frequents the games of the JP Bowl, so it's nice to have him kind of solidified, I guess, in the community here moving forward. Trevor has left the room. I know the Godfather has been banging at the door trying to get in. We do have our beer of the week, drink of the week guest as well showing up, so it'll be a busy little room here for the next little while. But question 1, I guess we will get to the baseball first, Dave.
Yeah.
And I'll go with this. Which teams will make the championship series when it comes to the National League and American League? So, Jays, Yankees, Tigers, Mariners, Phillies, Dodgers, Cubs, Brewers. Who are your final 4?
I'm going to go...
You don't have to tell me how many games either. Just pick a winner.
You just, okay. Mariners. I say this with huge reluctance. I think Yankees.
Okay.
But it'll go the requisite amount of...
Head over the heart here. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. Brewers, that might be heart overhead.
Heart overhead, yeah.
And Phillies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Head over heart there or heart over head?
Yes.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go Jays. I will go Mariners. I will go Brewers. I'll go Dodgers.
Engineered for perfection. The Dodgers. I mean,
they all have those postseason mottos, right? Like,
man, does baseball love a shirt?
Fall to win, autumn destroyers.
Like their brand, like
no,
you advance
out of 162 games
the wild card, and you go, here's your wild card shirt.
Yeah, we drew the wild card. Question number 2: which NHL team that didn't make the postseason last season, what season, will make the postseason this season?
Give me that again. It feels like it needed a bouncing ball to follow the words. What?
Which NHL team that didn't make the postseason last season will make the postseason this
season? Okay. So a huge jump up for some.
Who's in the dance?
Others who are just outside now take the next step.
Who finds their way in?
Okay, you're going to have to remind me of who didn't make it. It's been a while.
Oh, boy.
Oh, come on.
Why?
This is why we should prepare.
Say the Ottawa Senators. Trev, who you got? I know you've probably got a take on this.
I think
the Flames.
Well, yeah, you know what? I had the Flames picked last year to make the playoffs.
Close enough. As close as you can get.
Yeah, they were 1 point out, I think. So
yeah. I know where I'm going to go. Utah.
That's really good. Yeah,
okay,
I like that a lot.
There's
They're
a bunch
sexy
of things.
Team,
and I mean, there's just some stuff around the actual on ice. You know, I don't know if you've seen the changes to their arena that they did like in an amazingly short amount of time. They're training. There's a real buzz going on around that franchise.
KB says it's Buffalo's year.
It's never Buffalo's year.
Man, that's sad. Yeah, like I want to pick Buffalo so bad.
We all do, I think.
It's not. Like, I'm rooting for them. I'm at the point where I'm rooting for them. Like, I really want to see, like, growing up, I started cheering for the Oilers right when they drafted Taylor Hall, and right when the decade of darkness kind of got going. And I'm like, this sucks. And so, you know, it took a while, and until they finally, and it was the best feeling ever. And there's so many fans.
You're playing for the Sabres. 14. It feels like you're doing community service.
It's tough to hate them out here.
And then
how could you hate them out here? I guess in the six, I get it. Like there's nobody like, but out here, who hates the Sabres? Why would you hate them?
No, like I'm rooting for them. Yeah. Like imagine being 10, you start cheering for the Sabres. You're now 25 and you have yet to watch them in the playoffs. That sucks. That's sad.
Well, we talk about your prime drinking years too for Oilers fans during the decade of dark. Your prime partying years, and you don't get to see any drip of any success.
Right,
that's true.
That's tough. That's one life. Like that's
one thing. Like I'm so grateful.
I like the way you frame that. Your prime drinking years.
Well, really,
like partying. This is it.
Like you're in it.
That's why
you're
living it now.
I'm so thankful the last few years.
Yeah,
you know, like that's awesome. That's part of the reason why I moved to
They're
Edmonton.
not guaranteed.
Let's go. Right? Exactly. But yeah, I'd probably go with. Let's see here. You know what? Maybe Detroit. Maybe Detroit. I know last year when they got Todd, they were one of the hottest teams for a stretch.
They got hot there. Yeah,
the bump. They did.
Yeah.
And then they missed out. It's hard to believe it's been almost 10 years since last time they were in the playoffs as well. So, yeah, I'll go with Detroit.
Question 3, and we're going to flex in a fourth as well, a bonus one. This is coming to you, Dave, but I want to get to this question first. 2 Ohio-based teams featured in the wild card series. Both are now out. Mm-hmm. So the question to the two of you is, if you had to live in Ohio, Cleveland or Cincinnati?
Oh.
Now, we all know Cleveland rocks, right?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Drew Carey.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, I think, famous for their chili as well. There's a Cincinnati
Don't they have a really good zoo?
Chili.
Doesn't Cincinnati have like
Cincinnati
a world-famous zoo?
Yeah, there's something like that.
They also have a very, very good tennis tournament. Not a major, but one that's, just outside.
Yes. So that might be where you lean?
I'm thinking Cincinnati. I've never been to either of those fine
Neither
places.
have I, yeah. It's just more of a vibe question, like what you kind of... just doing a quick search here. Cleveland does offer more affordable housing and access to Lake Erie, which might grab you.
Well,
Cincinnati provides a smaller, more walkable town, a milder climate, and a more southern feel, as they are, they're kind of down by that Kentucky way. Trev, do you have a preference, Cleveland or Cincinnati, if you had to live in Ohio, out of those two cities?
Don't linger long on this, Trev. There's no wrong answer.
I mean,
when I say that, what comes?
Cincinnati.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, you just kind of boom. Yeah. Okay. Well, and you are a Bengals fan.
That's why.
Oh, is he a Bengals fan? I did not know that.
Just started.
You just started
about 2 years ago.
A huge Jake Browning guy.
Yeah, I really
love the
like
Browning.
those helmets.
I love that. Yeah, that's part of the reason.
Yes,
I ranked them as my worst NFL logo.
What?
Well, the B.
Oh, yeah.
They have so much to work with the Bengal Tiger, even though Bengal was of a washing machine brand, I guess was the name. The helmets are great. Mm-hmm. But why use that cartoon bee? You could even have a more
fierce,
ferocious bee. It's too bubbly. It's a bubbly bee.
It's like a Toys R Us bee.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
You could do more there, I think.
And Chris Collinsworth was the Bengal.
That seals it for Trev there.
Yeah. He has no idea who that is.
Oh, he's awesome.
Question 3B here.
Yeah.
Coach Mike, 780-218-9999. Dave, what's left to learn about the Elks in the final 3 games? Does JMO think this was a wasted season?
No. I don't think it's wasted at all. What are we going to learn? I think we know who Cody Fajardo is, and that's been good. Like he has done lending even more credence to the move that Ed Hervey made.
We've learned about that whole position, really.
Yes, we have. And if you think, wasted season because we still don't know what Trey Ford can do, really, with any level of consistency.
And another year older.
And so do you continue investing in his development? I don't know. I don't have that answer right now. Rankin is their MVP. He's evolved into one of the stars in the CFL. I never think it's a wasted season. They've shown improvement.
That's what you've wanted.
Yes.
This is what we've been
They've had
longing
some
for.
late disappointing losses, but this is something not new for this franchise over the last 4 or 5 years. But it's not the big jump everyone wanted, but you know what? It's on the right path.
Which you couldn't say about this organization over the past regime. And again,
not at all.
6-9, the record heading into next week, week 19. And I think still talking about a possibility of finding their way into the postseason. That alone is a win at this stage of the season.
Yes.
Given from top to bottom, freshness and newness in the managerial and the coaching.
You had a rookie head coach. And I think you've seen his growth and evolution, and that's very likely going to continue. So that you've got someone who should be in that position for a few years. No, there's parts of the roster there that I really like that you hope they're going to be able to kind of become pillars.
Absolute.
Yeah.
So, I'd agree with you there. Once again, Elks on a bye. They'll have a crucial game next Saturday, 5 o'clock, down at Play Alberta Field, Commonwealth Stadium. The 6-9 Elks hosting the 8-7 Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who are also observing a bye this week. Just 3 games on the CFL slate. It all kicks off tonight. Ottawa hosting Saskatchewan. A doubleheader tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Hamilton and Toronto. And the Stampeders visiting BC, 5 o'clock for your nightcap. Dustin Nielson will be calling one of those games, which I would wager either in Toronto or tonight in Ottawa. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Drink of the Week is coming up after a sports update. I want to let you know hour 3 of the Nielson Show, the 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by GD Liquidators Auctions and Appraisals, Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items for almost 40 years. Don't miss their monthly online auctions, www.gdliquidators.com. Canadian-owned and operated. Make them your first call, 780-447-2787, or you can check them out, 145 124th Avenue. We are having a little fun this morning in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. This is probably the route that will get you texts of the day, but the Oilers, again, the Knobloch 3-year extension that was announced earlier today, but the Hall of Fame room, alumni room booked off for Monday. Wrong answers only, though, so we're having a little fun with that. Yeah. You can maybe guess as to what it might be, but we're just taking the wrong fun answers only. DB does text in, the decade of darkness was literally my prime drinking years. FUYTT, love you. So he's cheering for you, but also realizes that what it could have been for him, you are now living.
I got a lot of that. Like when I first moved here.
You should be grateful, Trev.
Yeah, no, I am. I am. Like a few of the regulars, when I first got here, they were, oh man, like it was tough. I was in my prime years and they robbed me of my prime years. I'm like, oh, that's tough, man. That sucks. But that is tough. I'm sorry.
$50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor on the way next. If you are listening, iHeart, TuneIn radio apps, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. If you're watching as well this morning on YouTube, pound that thumbs up. Give us a like. We are approaching that 200 marker. It'd be nice to hit that on a Friday. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hockey season is next week, next Wednesday. Oilers Flames play the big home opener. So subscribe to the channel. You'll be kept all up to date on everything going on EST-wise. All the shows 6 to 6. The Oilers pre and post to Tom Gazzola. You'll be up to date on everything happening. So you'll want to subscribe to the channel so you know what's going on constantly, daily throughout this Oilers season. And as well, 95.7 Cruise FM, your home for the Nielsen Show, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9. Dave Jamieson and myself, Lieutenant Eric, will be back. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Drink of the Week. Right now, a sports update, though, and it is for Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. Accepting registration now for the Thursday Night Men's Curling League. Plus, you can book your bonspiel for the upcoming season. You get a free ice rental with the purchase of a buffet dinner. Visit egmgolf.com for more details. Here's Trev with the update.
It's official. The Oilers have signed head coach Chris Knobloch to a 3-year contract extension through the 28-29 season. Knobloch will be speaking after today's practice. It's game day for the Edmonton Oilers as they cap off their preseason schedule later tonight when they face the Vancouver Canucks. Puck drop for this one is at 8. While regular season play for the Oilers begins next Wednesday against Calgary. Last night in Major League Baseball, the New York Yankees punched their ticket to the ALDS with a 4-0 win over the Boston Red Sox. New York now advances to face the Toronto Blue Jays in the ALDS on Saturday, being the first time these two will play in the postseason. First pitch goes at 2:08. Elsewhere in the majors from last night, the Cubs defeated the Padres 3-1. They'll now take on the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Detroit Tigers doubled up on the Guardians 6-3. Detroit will now face Cal Raleigh and the Mariners, both series starting on Saturday. It was a nail-biter that kicked off Week 5 in the NFL last night as the San Francisco 49ers got the win over the Rams 26-23 in overtime. Mac Jones threw for 342 yards, good enough for 2 touchdowns, which sees them improve to 4-1 on the season, while the Rams fall to 3-2. Week 5 action continues on Sunday. CFL Week 18 kicks off tonight, which sees the 10-4 Rough Riders visit Ottawa to take on the 4-10 Red Blacks. Kickoff for this one is at 5:30 with Dustin Nielson on the call. And just 2 other games in the CFL this weekend. The Ticats will be in Toronto to face the Argos, and Calgary heads to BC to take on the Lions. As for the Elks, they have a bye this week and won't be back in action until Saturday when they welcome in the Blue Bombers. And back to hockey in the WHL, the 3-1 Oil Kings are in Moose Jaw to take on the Warriors. This one gets underway at 7. The sports update is brought to you by the Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club, accepting registration now for Thursday night men's curling league. Plus, book your bonspiel for the upcoming season and get free ice rental with the purchase of a buffet dinner. Visit egmgolf.com for more details. I'm YouTube Trev, and you're up to date.
Hour 3 of the Nielson Show continuing here, 8:35. Good morning to you if you are listening to the iHeart TuneIn radio apps, The Source, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, on YouTube. Once again, if you are watching, as I said, subscribe to the channel. You want to be up to date EST-wise on everything Oilers season, and smash that thumbs up. Give us a like here. We got Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week, Drink of the Week this week coming right up. And, of course, big hello to everybody on the FM dial, 95.7 Cruise FM. We are clicking along on there. No real hiccups as the past 2 Fridays. There's been an knock on, so here. Far so good. We got about, 47 minutes to go. What?
All the errors. But we got this.
We sure as hell do. And thank you to YouTube Trev for keeping it locked down. Hour 3 of the Nielsen Show, once again, is brought to you by GD Liquidators, Auctions and Appraisals, Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items for almost 40 years. Don't miss their monthly online auctions, www.gdliquidators.com, Canadian-owned and operated. Make them your first call, 780-447-2787, or visit them 14510 124th Avenue. Coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio as well in the Nielsen Show, as always, presented by Weiss Johnson, your trained home specialists. Okay, let's get into this one. This is exciting. Usually it's a beer segment, but usually when Dusty's away, we get some other drinks. And we are joined now from Calgary as well, Demi.
Yeah.
Said it right, not Demi or anything like that. Demi.
Just Demi.
Demi Broderick. And you are from, just give us a little lay of the land, your title and the company that you're representing this morning.
Yeah, so I'm the owner over at Tequila Vida. We're an all-female owned and created tequila cocktail brand out of Calgary.
Okay.
And we're linking up with Sobeys to bring Edmonton some of our delicious flavors. We brought the variety pack today. We've got our spicy margarita, which is launched brand new with this pack.
Okay, so we're getting a little new stuff here, Dave Jamieson, in for Dustin Nielsen. I don't mind this.
That's the one.
Why not tequila on a Friday morning?
Tequila on Friday morning. You're heading into the Jays, the weekend. Here it is. This is a nice little pack. The deal, correct me if I'm wrong, $17.99 for the sixer.
Yeah.
And once again, your next chance to get $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Just text it in now during the segment. Text in Tequila Me to 780-218-9999. We are taking correct spelling, so get that right. I am a fan of tequila. I'm not a, shall we say, expert in the field, but it is one of my favorite, kind of liquor drinks. Don't mind sipping or whatever on this. But why tequila? Is it just a favorite of your guys as well? I know the vodkas, the gins, all that's kind of been done, but I really like the tequila avenue, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a bad experience with tequila their first go. So our company slogan is I broke up with tequila, but now we're back together.
Okay.
Because of my experience with tequila at 18. But
you don't want to go into this, do you? Or
no,
okay.
I can't shout out the brand, but I think we all had it at 18.
We all did.
We all know who that is.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to bring tequila back into people's lives in a fun, easy to drink way, because you meet people and they're like, I don't drink tequila. I was like, relax, honey. It's got juice in it. You're going to be all right. We're not just hitting you with the straight stuff.
You say juice. Is this like a natural sugar-free type of thing, or what are you kind of mixing in with the tequila that mixes?
So we only use 100% tequila in our drinks. A lot of our competitors use fillers.
Yep.
So that's a bonus to drinking us. And we use all natural ingredients.
Okay.
And agave syrup to sweeten it rather than refined sugar or stevia or aspartame like some of the other companies as well.
I like that.
Yeah.
I can get down with that. So what would you suggest from the variety pack is a good one to start?
You
Locking
got to always work from lime, then Paloma, then spicy.
Okay.
Because I don't think we can go backwards from spicy.
Let's get that lime. I assume it's that.
Is that the...
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, let's dish these out right now. Great artwork on these as well. Is this a locally sourced?
This artist is from Calgary.
Okay.
I partnered up with Blackwater on this. I drew it on a napkin, to be honest with you, in a meeting.
Nice. Sure. That's a good story.
Yeah, and because it's all female owned and created, we took the sugar skull and put the agave plant on her head for a crown for a queen. And that's kind of how that design came in.
It's really beautiful.
Are we going to do a little cheers?
Yes.
Yes. Well, cheers to you coming up from Calgary. Are you a Flames fan? Dyed in the wool? Or?
Honey, I know what territory I'm on. Go Oilers.
Oh, okay. Very smart guest there. I love it. So cheers to the Oilers here. Knobloch, 3-year extension.
That's nice.
Got a little salt, a little bit of lime.
The salt hint is nice. And we've had drinks like this before where it's either a little high, a little low, but this is a nice
balance.
It's a nice touch. Yeah. That's really good.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Pour a little bit too much to go through all three.
Oh,
perfect.
We've had taller pours. I'm not saying you don't need to do it anymore. This is a perfect amount, but very delicious. And this is the lime.
This is the margarita.
Margarita. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
You got it. And we currently produce in Alberta, and we also have a production facility in Vancouver as well, because we're sold in Alberta, BC, and Saskatchewan.
Oh, love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So and I know we have listeners from various Western provinces. So if you are out there, Saskatchewan, BC way, pick this up right now. It's the Vita Pack Tequila TQLA, $17.99 for a sixer. Next one.
All right, this is the Paloma. Do you know what a Paloma is?
Not a clue.
All right, so it's a traditional grapefruit cocktail from Mexico. And the fun thing about this is that color of pink that we've got in there, it's not artificial. So we get that from pressing yam skins, cherry skins, and apple skins.
Yam skins?
Yeah. I know, it's not supposed to, it will not taste like that. I promise you.
It's just kind of, one of these things is not like the...
Yeah, but the point of that was just to not put artificial dyes in your beverage, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of new ways to achieve color.
So mainly grapefruit out of this one, but anything else that you kind of pick up, I guess?
Should just be a lot of grapefruit. There's going to be some of our lime juice in it, just a little bit.
Okay, well, cheers, I guess, to the Blue Jays. You a Ball fan? I mean, to the Jays.
Yeah,
We're all gonna be
my
partying.
father grew up in Toronto, so
Oh, yeah?
I was like
Okay.
a Toronto fan all around.
Okay,
if we must say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We will to the Jays and the
that's-
Mariners.
Did you guys catch the 49ers and Rams game?
Oh, we caught it.
Nice.
Did you have a side in that battle, or?
Kind of impartial to the 49ers, but I just wanted to eat dinner and be in Edmonton, so I was just happy watching the game and
that's
doing that.
the NFL. Hey, yeah, big Niners win. This is good because usually with some of those grapefruit drinks, you get that like tangy.
It's almost a sickly sweet in some of them. Not
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
This
exactly.
This
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
like I'm actually having a grapefruit
The
juice.
natural stuff comes out. Yeah,
And we use 2 different grapefruits. We use pink grapefruit and ruby red grapefruit in it. I just kind of tend to use one, but
I'm telling you, tomorrow afternoon, I know we were talking about going out to a pub or a tavern for the Jays game. If you want, $17.99 for a sixer. You're at home. Maybe set up the deck. Don't know what the weather will be like, but this would be a great little pack to kind of dive into for Jays Yankees tomorrow.
the weather's got to be nice. Like, we're pretty lucky. It's rolling into...
It's been a great fall. I mean, you can't complain about the autumn here. I will quickly pull up the forecast if you want to get into the final sampling here.
Yeah, I'm going to pour us a spicy margarita. I love a good spicy marg, so that's where this came from.
We don't
this
mind the
kinda
spice, do we,
idea.
Dave? You can get down the spice, yeah.
I mean, my level of spice was different compared to other people's, so we had to tone it down a bit.
Okay, yeah. Your home brew is a little different, a little more up
Yeah,
there.
it's a little spicy.
11 degrees tomorrow, so a nice crisp. I mean, that's fall ball. That's a great day to enjoy these drinks. But so this is the
This is a spicy margarita.
spicy margarita. So
And this just launched in the Vita pack, so you cannot get it outside of the Vita pack, which
love
is
it.
kind of fun.
So you're getting in this one flavor, obviously the mango, but what else?
That is
Mango.
really cool. That is.
And we have some peppers in there, serrano peppers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers again.
Salud. Last one. You guys made it through all
And
three.
is the pepper what I'm sort of feeling now? That kind of, I don't want to call it an afterburn, but
Like
you know
the
what I'm
little
saying.
burn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
That's
adding.
really
A
cool.
lot of places have been adding that spice to the drink, and that's probably a delicate balance to do, but
It's
hit really well.
difficult, yeah, because when you get to that level of spice and people, if you kind of inhale any air with it, it'll kick right to the back of your throat.
Yes.
So you're like, how
I've
much?
had that before, yeah.
How much do we put in this to make it taste smooth and so people aren't coughing on
Yes.
it after they have it?
Love it. No, this one's real good. A great 3 cans, all with a bit of a different buzz and a different flavor to them, but they really go well together. Yeah. It's the Vita pack. It is Tequila Vita, TQLA, Calgary-based, but as you said, BC and Saskatchewan available.
Yes.
Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, 6-pack, $17.99 right now for the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Drink of the Week. And once again, text Tequila Me, 780-218-9999. $50 on the line. You can use that to pick up a couple of these packs for the weekend. Demi, I appreciate you coming up here, making the trek. Enjoy. Are you here for the weekend type of thing? You're kind of making a...
You turn around.
I did a Sobeys tour though. I went and said hi to all the stores and introduced myself because we just kind of signed a contract with them in January. So
Perfect.
making our way out and saying hello to
Well,
everybody.
good luck with this.
Delicious
You got
stuff.
a great
Yeah.
product here.
Not
Thank
that we need to
you.
wish it because I'm sure it's just going to fly off the shelves. This is great stuff. Look for the artwork and thank you. The caps and the stickers are a nice touch too.
Yeah, I had to bring you guys some stuff.
I love it.
I
Yeah.
brought the Tequila Bronco outside too. You guys are gonna have to check that out. It's the Tequila Mobile.
Tequila Mobile. It's a Bronco too. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, thank you so much. We'll play the outro music. We'll clean this up a bit. We'll be back for the wrap for William Huff. It's the Nielsen Show here. Once again, $17.99 for the 6-pack. You've got once again the Paloma
Margarita.
cocktail, the margarita, and the spicy mango Rita. I got that right.
Yeah, you got it.
Tequila Me, 780-218-9999. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Tequila Me, 780-218-9999. We'll put you all into a big drum and draw a lucky name, and you will win $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Once again, a delicious drink of the week, and thanks very much to Demi Broderick for coming up from Tequila Vita. It's the Vita Pack, $17.99 for a sixer. We had the 3 samplers, one of which you can only get in this value box. So great, delicious. Again, as I said, for the weekend ahead, whether it's CFL tonight, I know Riders Red Blacks will be high on my schedule. Might dip into a couple of these perhaps, and the Blue Jays game tomorrow afternoon as well. Tequila Me, 780-218-9999.
For me, this is the clubhouse leader right now.
I love the spice.
Yeah.
Again, it's a delicate balance. We've been doing this segment for a long time. It used to be, just a traditional ale or this or that or the other, which is fine too. But incorporating the spice and the sugar-frees and the naturals, the spice is that's difficult to balance, and they hit it out of the park. Right now, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, visit the team at WilliamHuff.com, in business since 1952. So you know they are incredible at what they do, WilliamHuff.com. Goes without saying, what did we learn on the show today? Any news coming across the desk, boys, that you would like to... there's got to be some other things in sports happening, too.
Nope.
Nope.
Oilers, again, take the day.
It's the signing we've all been waiting for.
They made news before what time? 8 a.m.?
Dreger had it before CJ.
Yeah, it was at
6 something?
Yeah, 6:50.
Just after 6,
yeah. So Dreger tweeting it out, hearing multi-year. It was confirmed a 3-year extension for head coach Chris Knobloch, runs through the 28-29 season. Your thoughts on that? We also learned your thoughts on what might be going down in the Oilers room, Hall of Fame alumni, the big room down at Ice District come Monday, because... again, an event was moved. Monday is October 6th. October 7th is the NHL contract deferral deadline. Things are lining up, Dave. You can see it. You're putting your push pins on the board.
Yep.
You're connecting the dots. You're reading your tarot cards and studying your numerology well.
And I won't be here on the Monday, but God, I'm going to be listening. If that goes down, what we hope is going to go down, it's going to be a good day to be doing what you do for a living.
I agree.
That's what we've been waiting for. What we've been waiting. And you've had a roller coaster of emotions. The Friedman interview totally jolted him. He's gone. He's out.
Yeah.
That's
what did it. That's what did it. And then I was very distraught.
Then you had the dream.
And then I got home, and Hernan and Gager were talking about it in EST afternoons.
Yeah.
And I was listening to them, and then that's what made me have the dream, because that's what all I was thinking about.
Association dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I woke up with a smile.
Psilocybin.
But then now I'm kind of
dreaming
going
of a CBA.
Now I'm going down again, but now I'm going up.
Yeah.
So I'm all over the place.
It's a pendulum.
Yeah, that is big news. I just want to say I saw the tequila mobile.
And it's as good as it sounds,
I'm
right?
sorry you guys didn't get to see it, but I just watched it drive away. It was so sick.
Yeah?
Yes. Oh, it was decked out. It looked so cool.
And it's a Bronco.
Anyway, yeah, man. It was
bringing the Bronco back.
It was very artsy. It kind of looked like the top of the case there.
Don't do
cool.
it, Juice.
AC Cowlings.
Yeah, AC Cowlings. I just want to feed the fish.
Yes.
So, again, Coach Knobloch dominating what we learned this morning. What I didn't learn, and we still have a few minutes here, I wanted to get your thoughts, Dave, and we didn't really have much time for it on the show this morning. I haven't spoke to you since the CFL, Stuart Johnston.
Right.
He's fresh off his listening tour. He lays down the gavel with the rule changes. Just your overview of all of that transpired. Where are you at? Because you are a CFL historian.
Well,
big
I was
fan.
in the league for a long time.
Exactly,
But I don't believe, despite what Peter Diakowski and some other people
World's
are saying.
smartest man.
Yes. That this is a full-on Americanization and, that this is somehow an Armageddon of sorts for the CFL.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued by change and seeing what very good athletes and, good coaches, professional coaches can do in a new environment.
And the CFL has changed before.
Oh, God,
There's been change, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the things that he is, the goalposts and all that stuff, none of this should be sacrosanct. Hockey has changed. But the CFL...
baseball of all sports, the traditionalist sport of baseball.
Exactly. And it's changed for the better. I would suggest that the baseball you're seeing last night, the stuff you're going to see this weekend, is better baseball because of the willingness to be open to change.
You take a leap.
So I guess because I've been on the inside of that league, I know where, could you have left it alone? Sure. There are other things I would get to in the CFL.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
But as these sit today, I don't really have an issue with them. I look forward to seeing what it looks like. It's the end product.
And I appreciate that take from you because CFL, we always say it's an older person's league, and there are a lot of hardos out there that are like, oh, I want my season tickets. You can take them, and I'm not renewing them, all this stuff.
Sure, fair.
And you're all entitled to your own opinions, but it is good to hear of someone, and I say this respectfully, of your vintage who is welcome to change because everybody does it. In the most traditional, again, MLB is your perfect example of a sport that's American as apple pie, and we don't want to change anything. Field of dreams and all that. You can do it, and you can not just survive, but even flourish.
Yeah, and I've used this line, and I think it's apropos given the role it had in our country. You want to be the Hudson's Bay, right? So I would suggest that what Stuart Johnston has done is probably could have and should have been done where Randy Ambrosie was chasing, trying to find middle linebackers in Belgium with CFL 2.0, which was a waste of time. That this is, whether it produces the results of more people in the building, I have no clue. I kind of doubt it. That's another project.
Yeah, and all these changes, I think, too, were shown with some thought behind them. Yes. How did we get to where are we going with this change? What was the reasoning for it, and so on and so forth.
But there's some other things around football that off the field that they've got to address in terms of a coach's cap and all of those things that I think are limiting or inhibiting improvement to the product.
Well said. No, I appreciate that. Yeah. I wanted your thoughts there. Lots going on, obviously, tonight. CFL kicking off. Dustin Nielson is not here because he's on the CFL beat. Saskatchewan and Ottawa tonight from the nation's capital. 5:30 kickoff there for your Friday night football. And a Saturday doubleheader. Hamilton, Toronto at 1. Calgary visiting BC at 5. A huge matchup there in Vancouver to determine the Western positioning. Of course, the Elks on a bye, but an important bye for them as they get set to take on another team coming off a bye next Saturday in the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a team they need to beat considerably for that point differential in terms of a season series and hope to track them down. So next Saturday, 5 o'clock, Play Alberta Field, Commonwealth Stadium, a huge one for the Elks as they're, pre-playoff season continues. It's win or go home right now for them. And having this conversation October 3rd, I think, is a win for them this season as well.
And if they were to advance to the postseason, they are playing playoff football now. And I know that sounds...
You get in the...
They're having to play it next week and the week after.
Win or go home.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that serves also, if not this year, serves to lay a foundation for next year.
Text of the day, and as we said, we kind of laid out a path for you in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Wrong answers only as to what might be going down Monday at the Oilers Hall of Fame Alumni Room. We got a lot of good wrong answers, but I am going off of that topic, and I'm going to a text that was sent in the opening hour today, and it's from a gentleman who needs a win. He's a Rams fan.
Yes.
He was at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge, Central Casino, 4 Road last night for the Thursday night, but you can join me every Monday and Thursday night for the football this NFL season. He's trying his hardest to get into the trip. Rams and Saints, trip for 2 to LA. We make the draw Sunday, October 19th. The game's in November. Huge Rams fan. He didn't win the jersey last night. He didn't qualify into the trip. He just got a tattoo on his leg that recently got infected.
Ooh.
You laughed. You laughed, but I mean, it looked gnarly, and I think he's doing.
Why would that elicit a response from Trev like that.
It was your reaction. I was laughing.
Roll back the tape. I want to see this. I'm going to watch this in the.
You didn't,
that's not cool.
See it coming. I know.
I hope it's okay.
It was quite a
This
jump.
story.
Yeah.
It was an odd bill.
Yeah, but it's a man that needs a win.
Okay.
And he needs one. And so we're going to give him one here. It's text of the day, and he's off to Royal Pizza. Royal Pizza text of the day, still making it great. The best and freshest ingredients you'll find. Top-notch service for over 55 years. You can order online while you're watching the Jays tomorrow at www.royalpizza.ca or pop in one of their 14 locations in the Edmonton area. Savage the Plumber. A BJ is always better than a Yank.
Very creative.
And he ends it with a winky emoji.
Let's go.
Yes.
A BJ is always better than a Yank.
Let's go.
Which he's referring to the Blue Jays. A Blue Jay is always better than a Yankee.
Yes, thank you for that. If
Ahead
the
of
kids are
tomorrow's
listening
game
or
one.
watching,
That'd be Trev.
Savage the Plumber, you're going to Royal Pizza, man. You need it. After the game last night, he presented himself as I was taking down the EST banner, and he kind of spread-eagled standing up, and he says, "Kick me, Eric. Kick me right in the balls." He was the lowest of the low. And
didn't we used to do that to Lucas Holt at the Bear?
Kick him in the... Oh, will it hurt?
Will it hurt?
Yeah, will it hurt? Will it hurt?
Yeah. Willard.
Willard.
Yeah.
He played in the CFL too, Willard. I think he was a special teamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Savage the Plumber, you're off to Royal Pizza. We'll get in touch with you a little later on post-show. Let's get to your sound of the day. If you missed it, we did improve to 21-0 on Kinda Easy Trivia this morning, courtesy Brad, I do believe was the gentleman's name. He unlocked a Club Beat Loop remix from the vault. If you missed it, here it is again.
Okay, here we go.
That's what happens when you have the heebie-jeebies.
3 ball. Yes, sir. There's 40. 40 for Bryant.
Jerry, it's Frankenstein's like Mr. Steinbrenner's here. George is dead. Call me back.
There it goes. See ya.
Marcus Johansson looking for Beagle. Drive. He scores! Jay Beagle, top shelf.
That's a strike.
This is now or never stuff.
Jordan Spieth, the leader for the moment. The third shot punched into Rays Creek again.
13 steps on the pyramid on your dollar bill.
Jetzt geht's los, Freunde. Hier ist Markus Becker und die Mallorca Cowboys. Und das rote Pferd.
13 letters in E pluribus unum. 13 bars on the shield. 13 leaves on the olive branch. 13 fruits, and if you look very closely, 13 arrows.
Again!
Goaltender's out. Crosby looks ahead. Hornquist looking for the hat trick. He scores!
If you're looking at the dollar bill, notice the arrangement of the 13 stars in the right-hand circle.
Lovely ball. Here's Milner in the box on the right. Great ball by Milner. Lovren. Yeah! He scores! Wow! Listen to Olmo. Listen to the ground. This is unbelievable. Dejan Lovren in stoppage time. Wow! Liverpool players dive into the cup. Great quality. I'm out of breath.
We are all out of breath. Club Beat Loop remix from the vault. That's going to do it. Want to thank all of our sponsors today. Weiss Johnson, the Nielson Show presented by Weiss Johnson. Edmonton's train home comfort specialists. Our insider, hockey insider for GS Construction, Chris Johnston, making his return to the program. Great insight from him. Our NFL insider, Mike Garafolo. And that was brought to you by Blue Water and Mobile Lubricants. So we thank him for dropping by as well. Our two big guests in hour two. Go check out Wayne's today. They're in their new location, West Side, right next to the Italian Center shop. Tell them EST sent you. Preseason almost, thank God.
Thank God.
Oilers Canucks tonight. Stuart Skinner in net. I'm sure that won't breed any sort of conversation tomorrow. Knobloch 3-year extension, of course. Play Alberta if you want to ride with Dusty. I'll be back on the Lock Shop today, so I'll talk to you then. Myself, Huss, and Dusty, who's got a very interesting bad beat from last night. He'll be joining us as well if we can find the time to squeeze him in. I said it's a pretty packed show, so we'll see if we have to bump you or not. And thanks again to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Drink of the Week. And that was Demi Broderick from Tequila Vida. $17.99 for this 6-pack right now. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. For YouTube, Trev, Dave Jamieson, you'll be back next Friday as well, I do believe.
I will.
Thank you for your time. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I know it's a different show without Dusty here, but we really appreciate you joining us, whether it's the iHeart TuneIn Radio app, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, YouTube, or on the mighty 95.7 Cruise FM. We're going into the Verve Bittersweet Symphony coming up. That's what we're getting into it. A banging track. For everybody today, thank you so much. Hangouts coming up next. Keep it locked on YouTube. It'll take you right over. Have a great weekend. Go Jays, go, and go Mariners, go.